ALR Season 2 Formula 1 World Championship, and we are here today in Suzuka, Japan. So this is going to be an absolutely fantastic night of racing, isn't it? I got to say, we are an hour later than normal because of that epic Brazilian Grand Prix. Got to say, the first half wasn't too good, was it? But my gosh, the second half kicked into life incredibly well. 3.6 miles long this track is, 18 turns around this only figure of 8 circuit on the calendar as well. And yeah, all I can say is konnichiwa, as I've been practicing my Japanese all week for this moment. So yeah, and that is all I've learned, is that one word. I'm just going to get the stream up now, and we can do all the usual jazz of share it with the drivers, and then we'll get cracking for real then. I gotta say, that Brazilian Grand Prix was absolutely fantastic, wasn't it, just a minute ago? Really good stuff. The only time that you really want to watch the post show of the Formula One, and and unfortunately, well, depend on your point of view. Unfortunately, we got a race to do. I gotta say that this is gonna be a lot more. It's going to be a lot more interesting than the post show, and waiting to see what happens to Hamilton, as he might be in a bit of trouble by the sounds of it, after unceremoniously knocking Albon out of an incredible second position. Really was. You can see 20 drivers around this Suzuka Grand Prix. This is going to be fantastic, isn't it? I'm really looking forward to this. This is going to be mega stuff indeed. As we are just about to get ready to go, but before I do, let's just take a quick. I got a couple of announcements to make. Of course, then earlier on today, of course, the big announcement that ALR is expanding to a second league. Fantastic! Every Monday night at 7:30, which is the time we're starting tonight. So yeah, which is good stuff indeed, isn't it? Then of course that will be the Silver League, which is called, and this one will be the Gold League, of course. So I'm really looking forward to that, of course. And we'll also have a relegation and promotion. So very similar to football and the promotion. Very similar to promotion and relegation in football. Then, so of course it'll be the bottom three. So that'll be 18th, 19th, and 20th. Of one league, so that's gold, will be getting relegated, and silver will be first, second, and third. The podium sitters will be getting promoted. So absolutely fantastic. Makes it a lot more competitive, doesn't it? So I must admit, I'm absolutely loving that. I really am indeed. Just on board then with a debutant here tonight, and that is Dragon on Speed, who is in place for Sam. Sam is not racing here tonight, unfortunately, but which is a shame. But it would be good to see Sam back. So yeah, Dragon on Speed, making his debut tonight then, and a very quick driver indeed. Of course, he has raced in other leagues before, so this is not his first rodeo, is it? So he should be all right. And of course, then we've also got Craig as well, who I think he's. I was looking at my stats and I can't see him on there. I reckon I must have called him a different name. But of course, Craig then also in the Alfa Romeo, replacing Mr. Elite tonight as well. But it's great. It's have a great turnout here tonight, isn't it? Of course, Gamer replacing Renzo in the Racing Point, as now is Dragon on Speed then coming up onto the 130R now, and you can see the sun is setting there, isn't it? Here over the Suzuka circuit, and now going into the Triangle Chicane. And here we go then, we're going to start a lap now, and we'll get going then as, yep. And also then, as you can see, coming down to turn one then, of course, also, we've started a very busy week, haven't we, the admin guys of ALR. Of course, there's been also some awards being handed out, hasn't it? Of course, Driver of the Season, Most Consistent, no it isn't, Driver of the Season, I've got to admit, I had these all written down, and I've memorised them, and what's going on, I've completely forgot about them straight away. So yeah, there you go. That just shows my brain's got a memory like a sieve. And of course, also we must mention that this Japanese Grand Prix last year was absolutely fantastic, wasn't it? Nigel might not like me to say this, but of course, then we had an incredible battle, didn't we, between Jonathan and Nigel? That was the first time in the ALR that Nigel, I think, was beaten in a straight fight. So an absolutely incredible battle there, wasn't it? Flagging free at the moment. Dragonair just coming up to the Spoon corner now, and then as you can see, as the track winds its way down, it's an adventure park. Oh, look at that! And almost locking up there. Very well held there, sir, from Dragon on Speed. I tell you what, he was on a lot of speed there, and my goodness me, very close to the Toro Rosso, who is just touring on the back straight. Then is that Dragon on Speed, then comes through the 130 yard end, and there he goes as well. Beautiful, really is. Yeah, so of course it is the, well, I don't think it's the track anniversary of Jonathan's first win in ALR. I think he's won 2 in his career so far. So it's the track anniversary. Of course, it hasn't been a year yet, has it? Of course, we do 2 seasons in 1, don't we? Dragon has done a 31-0 there on the soft compound tire. Fisher is on Spoon now coming through. Got Craig as well driving out there as well. It's great to see all these drivers out there tonight. Absolutely fantastic stuff. It is. There's a Stringy there. It's just coming through Dunlop now. Now into Degner 1. Anyway, where was I? Oh yeah, I was talking about the awards, wasn't I? Goodness me. You can see coming across the numbers. I'm just waiting for me electronic device, my phone, trying to load up, but unfortunately it's not loading up for me. But to be honest, I really should know what they were. Oh, Grillsy's gone. So Grillsy is gone all from the session. So that is a major blow in Sector 1. Fisher's gone second. I'll tell you what, Fisher's on absolutely incredible form at the moment, isn't he? On board Jonathan, as we said then, of course, he's sporting a new helmet tonight, isn't he? Of course, marking his well, not year, it's of course the track anniversary of when he won his first race back here last year. And he is now, I would say he's definitely in a contention of battling for the title, isn't he? They come under the crossover. And Jonathan on an outlap laggy racer. He's just started his lap as well. As is William, of course. William making his second race in ALR. Of course, he drove incredibly well in Belgium, didn't he? He got pole position, didn't he? Fantastic stuff from William there. And also Gamer there making his 3rd start in ALR. And this time with the Pink Panthers of Racing Point then. Unfortunately for Grillsy, he might be starting from the back of the field in the Williams tonight, so that is probably the worst place you can start in Japan. Well, it is the worst place you can start in Japan, isn't it? It's a very difficult track to go at the best of times, isn't it? And as now he's coming through Degner 1, and now into the second Degner as well. And now going into the crossover then, Gamers at the moment. So currently, at the moment, we've got Fisher, Stringy, Exo, Craig, and a Dragon on Speed. And I apologise. Just got my nephew texting me for some unknown reason because he's a swine. That's what he is. Yeah. Anyway, coming out of Spoon now. Yep, so now he's coming out of Spoon end and we're starting. Now we're going to get going, aren't we? So as now we're coming up into the 130 yard end. You can see I'm more flushed than I. That's the problem with how we're watching the race just before coming on air, because my goodness me, that Brazilian Grand Prix is actually fantastic, wasn't it? Gamer then is going to start. This is first attempt then. Now coming into the triangle chicane then. And here we go then. Let's see what we can do then. I'll tell you what, Gamer in his first race performance was absolutely fantastic. Really was really impressive stuff from a Gamer in his opening race in Singapore. Unfortunately, it all came to nothing, didn't it? Where his fellow Belgian driver Laggy there, they came together, didn't they, out the final corner, which is a massive blow. It really was. For both drivers, I'm absolutely disappointed. As I have now finally got the result. Of course, let's just take a quick look. Let's just go through the driver awards, shall we? I must admit, I've spent 8 minutes of just blowing out hot air out of my mouth, which, to be honest, is nothing new, really, is it? So then, congratulations to Granty on winning the ALR Season 2 Driver of the Season. Absolutely fantastic stuff. I'll tell you what, Granty, a rookie this season, isn't he? As Maxis has gone for the track there. Yeah, so Granty, a rookie this season, wasn't he? He stepped in the car in the Williams in Australia and he looked on song from straight on, didn't he? Fantastic driver he was. Congratulations to Dan Murphy, who got the most consistent of the season. I gotta say, I thought that Dan's also done a fantastic job this season. He really has. He's been impressive. Also, we've got. Also, we'd like to have congratulations to Elliot for the cleanest driver. Well, he really was, hasn't he? Of course, he's been a bit unlucky with accidents, hasn't he? Because he had a bit of a Sebastian Vettel-esque start to his career, didn't he? Where he was involved in instances really wasn't his fault. But I tell you what, the last 2 races, Fisher is the man, isn't he? Can he go for 3 in a row here tonight in that Mercedes? He has been fantastic. So we've got no real flags, of course. This track is very tricky to get the best of time. So we've got all sorts going on there as well. We've also got the best overtake. Well, to be honest, it was a very difficult one, wasn't it? I got to say that all the best overtakes, we had some cracking overtakes, hasn't we? Jonathan is second at the moment. He's a 10th off Fisher. Fisher's really on song, isn't he? The best overtake award, I got to say, is very difficult, isn't it? Of course, that was a great move on a far on Knowlesy on the outside of Spain in turn 2. Fantastic overtake, it really was. Of course, Jonathan's fantastic overtake as well in Russia was the other one. And of course, it was Emerson in Monza. I've got to say, I think the fourth best overtake of the year. A good shout out to Sam. Absolutely cracking overtake in Russia as well, didn't he? On the outside, he's had some really good. We've had some really awesome racing this year. As new F1 goes 6 fastest in the Renault. Renault have now taken the lead in the constructors, which I haven't even got through the championship standards yet. My goodness me, I need to sort myself out. Here comes the man who probably doesn't need to sort himself out because he's had a fantastic season as well, hasn't he, Emerson? A brilliant driver, came in from the fourth race, and I tell you what, he's looked championship material. But at the moment, he is not on the form he needs to be, and is getting really tasty, isn't it, towards the end of the season. And of course, the final reward does go to Grant as well because of that incredible race in Russia. From 20th on the grid to second, an absolutely barnstorming race it really was. Fantastic driving there from a Granty there. Brilliant stuff indeed. Potentially could have won that, maybe. I think the Fisher is probably too quick, really. But I've got to say, Fisher, I'm looking forward to next season. We've got so many men that can go for the championship. I'm really looking. Well, of course, we haven't even finished this season yet, have we? Blimey, we're on round 17 out of 21. Of course, this is the longest ALR season in history. Of course, we only had 18 races last season. This season, we've got 421. And remember, next season, we will have a random calendar. Starting off in Russia, which I think is absolutely a perfect start, because an incredible race that last time out, didn't we? So I'm really looking forward to that next season. Of course, remember the driver draw will be also happening in the month of December. I think it will be very soon after. Knowles is going to. Knowles is not going to be too often me because he has sent a list of an itinerary, and I got to say, I'm really got a poor memory. But it is. Well, I think it will be very soon after the following race. So remember, keep an eye on all the stuff going on in ALR. It is looking very tasty indeed. The future is. I love it. Here's a man who loves ALR as well. Well, I hope he does anyway. Or maybe, well, he certainly is driving the car, that's all I know. And here is Gunnar, and blimey, Rocket Tony there, getting almost in the way of Gunnar. I'm spooking him a bit there. Yellow flagging one, and that is for Rocket Tony, who is just recovering it in the Red Bull. And so, of course, he's standing in for the crazy hitman. So is a Gunnar then coming into the hairpin now. Got 6 minutes there. Let me sort myself out. Good Gunnar. Good gosh. Emerson at the moment, then he's at 15 points, only 15 points. That is a third place at the moment, separates himself and Granty. An incredible season this has been, hasn't it? Of course, I think this time last season Gunnar's got around and spoon, and somehow he avoids the advertising barrier with the Rolex there. Blimey, because of course Rolexes are not cheap, are they at all? Yeah, Gunnar there really having a bit of a spin there. As Farfet is now on lap now, so he's 15th among Grills. Unfortunately, didn't get a lap in. Carrying on the championship, then 33 points back is Jonathan, and 46 points back is Far from fourth position. I think mathematically, the only people that can win it now, I think Fisher unfortunately is mathematically out of the championship now. Of course, Murphy is in 5th position, 57 points behind. He is on 119. Nigel, the defending champion, is 65 points behind. Potentially, realistically, is he still in it? I would say yes, actually. 65 points is not a lot, is it? And he's got. It seems like that anything could happen in ALR, and it usually does. It's incredible. It really is. Exile in 7th position, he's on 81 points. Then of course Fisher, incredible last 2 races, he has flown up the championship. He has gone up to New F1 has also jumped up one as well, he's up to 12th position. Then Grillsy moving up in front of Roscoe and into 70th position. Let's take a look at the constructors, shall we? Renault now starting to have a very healthy lead in the constructors, the manufacturer, so to speak. 21 points separates Renault and Toro Rosso. Toro Rosso have been leading the championship for the majority of the season. They've had 2 very consistent drivers, haven't they? And make that 3 now. Of course, Knowlesy was the man in the Toro Rosso with Exar at the beginning of the season. Now they have Roscoe and Farf clipping a bit of the green there. Fisher's retired from the session, but Farf goes second fastest. This is looking very good indeed. I'm loving this. It's a real driver's track, isn't it? Here comes that Murphy down coming into the triangle chicane, and you can see left and then right, and that is completely the wrong way around. It is right to left. As now Murphy comes up to the line, and he does a 29.3 there. Murphy does. And he sorts himself into 5th position. About 4 minutes to go for it. That is like countdown at the moment, and really, these guys are really starting to get very, really starting to. It's getting very, very tasty now, isn't it? Haas, anyway, going back to the constructors again. These guys keep interrupting me. Well, that's my job, really, isn't it? I'm meant to narrate on what's going on. We've got Haas in third position, 192 points, racing point up into 4th, fantastic, on 175. And Alpha in 5th position, 71 points off the pace. Ferrari and Red Bull are literally nose to tail, 148 points to 147. Mercedes then have been climbing up the stands as well, with Fisher on absolutely tremendous form at the moment, and Sam also starting to really become on song as well. And Grant goes 4th fastest moment. String is retired from the session. I think he's all right though, in terms of I think he's all right at the moment though. So yeah, don't worry about that. String is just called it a day for Q1 only. So yeah, Mercedes in 8th position, then McLaren in 9th on 108, and 10th position is Williams on 106 points. So I've fulfilled my obligations of telling you guys the championships. Let me read you through the comments, because my goodness me, you guys are really chatty tonight. Jonathan Cox just said good evening Jonathan, I hope you're well today. Of course, we've also got Gamer as well, making his third appearance. It's great to see Gamer back in the car. It's fantastic. Gamer is. Good luck, boys, very good stuff indeed. Laggy just said that race was incredible, wasn't it? I think he means the Brazilian Grand Prix. Fantastic. Just on board then with Rockatoni. He is 24 seconds up, so we think he's got an improvement here. We've also got Grant Smart going, alright guys, Jonathan's just said dry at the moment, you never know with quality, dry start in the race, a little bit of rain. Oh, that's looking good, isn't it? Of course, Jonathan, my Ted Kravitz then, so he's showing, and he's showing us the weather there, so that's really interesting. I'll look forward to the race now. Fantastic. Oh, this is going to get very, very interesting indeed. Grant has just said thank you. Of course, he had 2 awards this season. Brilliant stuff as well. He might get another award. Might get the big one. He might be the 2nd ever ALR champion. You never know, do you? Because I got to say, I think realistically there is still 4 men in the championship. I think Murphy and Nigel are slightly out of it now. And of course, well, mathematically, we still. It gave it there almost. And Gunnar's gone. Gunnar is out of qualifying, and that is a shame. Now Grant is retired from the session as well, but Gunnar is the out of qualifying, so he'll be starting at 20th, not Grillsy. What about Gamer? Gamer needs to put in the time now as well. Rockatoni is out as well, as is Nigel. My goodness me, what's going on today? Incredible stuff. That is an incredible amount of talent, which we might be seeing at the wayside already. Here comes Gamer. He's up to 16th then, so he's up to 16th. He has time to go for one more run, but can he go for one more run? And Craig there is out on track at the moment in the Alfa Romeo then, so he is just starting his lap now. And you can see, look how wobbly these cars are. Coming through Dunlop now as well. And of course we've got Leggy Racer. I'm the only one who wants to. Oh dear, I don't think he's a Hamilton fan, is he? Leggy isn't. And of course we've also got Grills. He's saying he's happy to be a part of ALR, and we are happy to have you as well. As Grillsy has had some incredible races. I'll tell you what, in Russia he was phenomenal. If that safety car didn't come out at the at that exact time, I think Grillsy would have been an absolutely incredible podium, a well-deserved podium as well for Grillsy. So just watching Craig there to come out of Spoon. And what about Gamer is done as well. So we have lost so in the first qualifying session, which is basically me trying to catch up on the news, and my goodness me, I spent like almost I spent like 3/4 of that qualifying session trying to spit out my words. Yeah, so yeah, congratulations to all the guys who have won the awards. Brilliant stuff. Of course, and really look forward to the Silver League, which is making its debut on the 13th of January. Remember that Craig has just moved up into 13th position as well then. And that is the end of qualifying. Out of qualifying is Gunnar, Grillsy, Rockatoni, Nigel, and Gamer as well. Look, they've run out of time, I think, or have they? Are they on a lap at the moment? No, they ain't. I wonder if Farf is on a lap. We're on board Farf at the on board Rockatoni at the moment. Then, of course, the Irishman, of course, with the green helmet, and he's just coming out of the triangle chicane now. Nigel is just coming up to the line now. I'm wondering if they're allowed to. They're doing their times now. They're allowed to go. Okay, never mind then. Let's continue then. So we're going to continue then, and I thought that the qualifying session was over, but Nigel is coming through, and so is Rockatoon as well. Am I all in? I think I'm all in. I think I'm all in a tizzy here. And good gosh. I can't even say what I want to say anymore. My goodness me! I tell you what, I'm glad it's Sunday. Well, no, I think I'd rather it be Saturday, to be fair, because by the sounds of it, I'm going to need a day to recover from that Brazilian Grand Prix. UF wins retired from the session as well then. So we're just watching Rockatoni. I didn't think they crossed the line in time, but maybe I'm looking at the wrong clock. Rockatoni coming into the bridge now, and so is Nigel. They're very close together, aren't they? So this is going to get very, very tasty indeed. Gamer is he on a lap? He is on a lap as well, so Gamer has got a chance to get through as well. This is going to get very interesting indeed. Can Gamer get through? So it's Dragon and Laggy that are the guys that are going to be feeling a bit nervous at the moment, as is Craig as well, possibly. We have got 3 men out on track at the moment. This is getting very, very interesting indeed, and I gotta say, I got it the wrong way around. It's Craig that was commentating, not Grill. The commentator, not Grill, to say. So my apologies. Goodness. Anyway, Nigel then is coming up then to the 130 now. Look at him fly by, not even a hint of a lift then. And now coming into a triangle chicane then. What's he going to do then? Now the section's over then. Oh, that was very close then. Did he? No, he hasn't track extended at all. So this is the final corner now. He comes up to the line. Nigel is through and up at the 5th position. What about Dragon? And the Dragon is also... No, Dragon is not through. Unfortunately, so Gamer is 18th, Laggy is 17th, and Dragon is 16th. Craig is in 15th and through to Q2. We have lost Grillsy and Gooner. What a shame. Unfortunately, someone has to bite the dust, and unfortunately today it was those 5 drivers. So Dragon in his debut there, only 16th on the grid. Laggy is in 17th. Be disappointed at that. 18th is Gamer then. So we've got the 2 Belgians, and all Belgian row 9. Ooh. Remember what happened in Singapore. And of course we've got Grillsy and Gooner that are on the last row then. It didn't go out full for Gooner now, did it? Unfortunately he was having a bit of a difficult time, wasn't he, when we was on board from him Spoon. So that's the end of Q1 then, as we're just waiting for the time to go by. I got so Fisher once again, I tell you what, he's going to go for free and free, isn't he? Pretty sure it's at the moment. My goodness me, he is looking absolutely phenomenal. And we've got a Rogue Ghost. Hello. I hope you're enjoying the stream, and I'm glad that you're here with us tonight, and hopefully we can liven up your Sunday as well. As you can see then, just under a 10th of a second Fisher and Farf. Farf looks like he's back on song as well. It'd be great to see Farf up there battling away. And look at this, Jonathan in 3rd position with Granty in 4th then. 3 of the top 4 drivers are out there. Emerson is only down in 12th position at the moment. Once again, Emerson is on the back foot. Yeah, there's more pressure that is starting to heap on the championship leader, and this is getting very tasty indeed, isn't it? Gooner, Grillsy, Gamer, Laggy, and Dragon are all out of qualifying, unfortunately, which is a big shame. So yeah, hopefully we'll see them in the race. And that's it. Let's go for Q2. I'm glad that Jonathan's told me about the weather, because I'm really looking forward to the race now. It's going to I do love a bit of moisture in there. It really does change the race, doesn't it? It really shakes it up. Yeah, and it's great to see as well. Of course, the Canadian Grand Prix, an absolutely fantastic race earlier on, wasn't it? A great duel between Emerson and Knowlesy back then, and really it was absolutely brilliant. It's very unusual to see a full wet race, wasn't it, in Canada? But yeah, it was no let up in the rain. It was intermediate tyres from start to finish. And out comes the Toro Rosso of William then. Of course, William, when he debuted in ALR back in Belgium, threw it straight on pole position. Is he going to do it again here tonight? Wow. I got to say, he is in Q1. He didn't really show his stuff, I don't think. So we're going to go into Q2 now. And let's see what he can do then. As we're on board then with William then. So then Q2 then, this is where the strategy starts to become apparent, as you can see that there we've got a couple of different tyre compounds on the left hand side tower. We've got like soft, medium and hard tyres. Of course, if you qualify in the top 10 you must start on a tyre which you set your fastest time on at the moment. And in terms of pole positions, I've got to say, it's all to play for. Murphy, I think, is the man at the top of the pole position tally with 3 at the moment. We talk about best performances and stuff like that, but I got to say, in Germany, how he threw it on pole position was absolutely incredible stuff, wasn't it? He was like walking on water, wasn't he? Murphy was in Germany. Really fantastic drive as well. But he's had 3 pole positions this season. 2 pole positions is for Knowlesy, And then we got a load of people on word. We got Fisher on one, we got Granty on one, UF1 on one, Fire Shot taking pole position last time out in Russia as well. It's really a mixed bag this season as well. Of course, we've got Silent Shifting on two as well. Silent Shifting was meant to be racing here tonight, but unfortunately he's not very well. It sounds like he had a dodgy fish or something at the restaurant. William now coming for the 130R then. We're going to go on board with William, I think, and we're going to enjoy a lap of the Japanese Grand Prix. And why not? Oh, you can see there the car didn't want to go in the direction that William wanted there, did he? And of course, Dan Lieutenant, who of course raced 4 races this season, and tell you what, he has a 50% strike rate in qualifying and racing, with 2 wins, 2 pole positions from his 4 races. Fantastic as well. Yellow flag in 2 and 3. So just taking a look to see what's going on out there, because this track is a very much action-packed, isn't it? If you make a mistake, you will be in the hedge. And of course it will bring out safety cars and red flags as well. Safety car, yeah, we'll bring out safety cars. I don't think it'll bring out red flags though, will it? Because I think they got rid of the red flags on this game. Yeah, bring back the red flags. I must admit, I only knew about they took the red flag away when I think, what's his name, Tomonic, the Australian bloke who does a lot of F1 streaming. To be honest, that's how I knew about league racing. It's online race. I didn't know it existed until I started watching his videos. But yeah, he was saying that the red flag's not on these games anymore. So I was a bit like, oh, I must admit, I hadn't noticed that. But yeah, so that's a shame. Hopefully they can bring that back one time. Well, and then again, do you really want to? I think that sometimes in online racing you probably do need a red flag. There was a huge accident, wasn't there, a couple of weeks ago in another league, blimey, that should have been red flag. My goodness me. William Nares, look at that, look at the sun, it's glaring right in your eyes there, going into the 130 there. You're almost blind going into that turn, aren't you? But William knows this track very well indeed, doesn't he? And look at the sun there again, straight on the apex of the triangle chicane. Accelerating away, then you've got a nasty bump here, you've got a couple of nasty bumps around your army. It's a very old school track. William goes on a 30 flat there, good time there from the Toro Rosso driver, nicely done indeed. Max is on track. What about Rocket Tony in the Red Bull then, coming through car 45 then, and you can see, look at them hitting the bump there. It's almost like a little rally jump, isn't it? Rocket Tony comes across the line and it goes a second fast at the moment to the Red Bull driver. Oh, Maxi's off the track there, and that is coming into Dunlop, isn't it? That is Dunlop, and that is a big shame now for Maxi. So he has now ruined that lap. He's going to have to go around again and get those tyres cleaned off then. And I think he's just waiting for the car to get by. Nicely done there. Fire Shot goes third fast in the Haas at the moment. Lovely done indeed there. UF1 now just coming out of the hairpin as well. We've got Craig going second. Well, I tell you what, Craig is looking up for this, isn't he? Here comes Farf. He's on the hard compound tyre as he's coming up to the Lions now as well. And he goes DRS. There's only one DRS zone around here. He's only done a 31.6 there. That is not really what he wanted. Here's the championship leader. Here comes Emerson, and he is into the triangle chicane as well. Now he accelerates away out, and of course he's coming to the DRS zone as well. Look at that bump there. Really unsettles the car, and he does a 29. Emerson is on song. This is getting very decent indeed, isn't it? Oh, I'm loving this. This is getting very exciting as well. Of course, I'm happy that you're all joining us today. I'm loving it. So new F1 goes second, fast moment, and he is loving that as well. 0.3 of a second off Emerson. Max there is just recovering. Just taking a look at anyone else on track. String is about to start out. Let's go on board then with the McLaren driver, and let's see this beautiful Suzuka track in all its glory. Then you see coming over the grid hatch as well. It's slightly downhill, isn't it? Coming into turn 1 and 2. Turn 1 is more of a entry into turn 2, really, isn't it? Now, as you can see, then look at those S's just in front of you as well. You need a stable car. Does the McLaren driver have a stable car? Look at him then. As you can see, then if you get one part of these S's wrong, then it's all downhill from there. Well, technically it's uphill, isn't it? And then we've got a bit of a downhill, and you can see the famous Ferris wheel there just off to the right hand side. Look at the car. The back end there was really wanting to step out there, going through Dunlop. Then it's almost full throttle. Now it's a Degner one. Then not taking it too wide there. Beautifully done. Now coming to the crossover as well then, and again there the car trying to squirm from underneath it into the hairpin, and the Kobayashi hairpin. Now Kobayashi had some banging had some banging wheels then, as a Maxi is out of qualifying. I think that'll be our first man on the bench there for Q3, unfortunately. For Maxi, he's only done 2:08. That is quite a slow time around here. Now coming to the spoon then for the string, and then look at this as it tightens up on the exit. Now accelerates away then. Not taking too much of the outside curve there on the AstroTurf. And look at him now building at speed then, going up the hill then as he comes into the 130R now. Look at this. Is he going to lift? No, not at all. The power just dulls, doesn't it? Now where does he brake? He brakes just after the 100-meter board. So going down to second gear then. A bit of tickling the throttle there nicely. Now on the power then. Watch that bump then. Very dangerous indeed. And that is a lap of the of this incredible Suzuka circuit. Fantastic, isn't it? He's up to third fastest then at the moment. Stringy is in the McLaren. 2/10 of a second away from UF1. Nigel's on track. We got Granty on track as well, just coming through the S's. We've also got Jonathan and Fisher out on track as well. Fisher is the closest to home, so let's keep on board with him then. And no, you can see that there's some say this man on fire, isn't he? 3 wins out of 3. I've got to say that I'm really looking forward to next season with Fisher. I'm wondering, of course he races in SNRS on Saturdays, and this man is absolutely flies, doesn't he? And I think he's had a difficult start to his ALR career, but my goodness me, the last 2 races have been phenomenal. Singapore dominated. Russia had a good old battle there with Jonathan, didn't he? I enjoyed that one. Yellow flag and free. So just watching, look in front of us there. Is that a Red Bull in front of us? Possibly. And he's coming up to the line. Here's Farf going up to 5th now, and Nigel going up to 3rd then. Ooh. Jonathan there is coming to spoon then, so we're going to keep an eye on Grant then at the moment. So here comes Gravity into the triangle chicane. And look at that then, is it now accelerating the way down. And now what's he going to do then? Granty on the medium tyres tonight, so a bit of a shake-up for Granty's strategy. Well, he's in 4th position there. So I tell you what, I think... that was Nigel just trimming the grass there. We got Murphy on track as well. Murphy is just starting his lap, so stay with Jonathan there. As we said, he won last time out here in Japan, didn't he? Of course, and this is last year's race. We didn't have a qualifying last year, did we? It was basically reverse grid, wasn't it? Jonathan goes fastest, and look at that time. That is a whisker of a way between Fisher and Jonathan. We're going to have round 2 between Fisher and Jonathan, and this might be a battle for the ages once again. Then here in Japan, then it's going to be like Senna and Prost, isn't it? This is going to be fantastic. It really is. And look at that, a whisker separates the 2 men at the top at the moment. Although Murphy then, what was Murphy going to do to reply? Well, he hasn't actually replied, has he? So this would be his first attempt now. Currently in the drop zone, we got Rocketoni, we got Fireshot, we got Maxi, we got Murphy, and Exile. Exile, I tell you what, he's had a phenomenal season as well. He's been Mr. Consistent, hasn't he? And now then, is he coming up to the 130 yard now? Of course, so we didn't have a pole position last season, but of course, last year's race winner was Jonathan. But the fastest that was a 1:29.993, which is set by Matt, wasn't it? In the Toro Rosso. And of course, then, so we're interested to see. Look at that, we weren't too far away from that fast time. Remember, that was in race trim as well. So yeah, the cars are slightly slower on this trim of regulations. Look at that, 4,400 seconds separates Murphy and Emerson then for 3rd and 4th position mode. Exile then is the last man not to set a time. And blimey, my goodness me, that was like riding the bull. Well, he's in the, I suppose he's in the Italian version of the Red Bull car, isn't he? Which will now be AlphaTauri next season. Yeah, which I kept harping on about a couple of races ago, didn't I? As they come now into Spoon as well. So once again, let me just count up to. Let me just quickly go with the comments. Then we have got Laggy saying Vettel did a phenomenal job on his 100th race for Ferrari. Some amazing commentary works. Thank you, Road Ghost. I got to say, I'm starting a bit tonight, though. I don't know what's going on with me. I think it was all the chicken I've had for lunch. It's made me really happy about life. Coming to the 130R. How happy is Exile going to be as he's coming up to the chicane then? And look, of course, the chicane was infamous when the 2 McLarens come back in '89. The year of my birthday. The year of, well, every year is my birthday, isn't it? Exile coming across the line, and he's gone 7th fast at the moment, so he is in the top 10 at the moment. But can he stay there? Track evolution is going to be important, as it is on any racetrack. As Murphy is now cruising back to the pits, just under 4.5 minutes ago. Then, so we have got a very action-packed 4 minutes. Then, so hold on to your hats, everyone. I hope you're yeah, don't get too excited, because we still got Q3 and the race to go here tonight. Nathan, he was saying, go on Emo. Of course, then that's Emo's that fan group is here in action there tonight, aren't they? Of course, Everton was having a huge amount of fan support. We love it, don't we? The Haas driver, of course, since Azerbaijan, he's turned this season upside down, hasn't he? He has been incredible. Grant has been incredible. Favre has been incredible. 2 wins out of 2 in the first 2 races. Fantastic stuff as well. Yeah, Jonathan, of course, as well. Really consistent, especially second half of the season. He has been the man on song, hasn't he? Laggy Racing said, Hamilton has been given a penalty and has dropped to 7. So, oh blimey! So thanks for that, Laggy. And of course, so unfortunately for Carlos Sainz, that means that he missed out on the podium there, which is he got the podium, but he wasn't able to stand up there, which is a shame. There, they should have. Of course, remember in Mexico, Verstappen was off the podium, wasn't he, by his collar? So they probably should have done that to Hamilton, really. And of course we've got Tristan saying go Jonathan. Of course Team Jonathan Cox there, Jonathan's got a lot of support there, isn't he? He's only 33 points off the leader Emerson at the moment, and look at that there, it's incredibly close, isn't it? This is really what we want to see, isn't it? Yeah, as I was mentioning earlier, I think this time when we was in Japan, that last time the championship was done and dusted, wasn't it? Of course the championship was wrapped up in round 17 in Abu Dhabi. Of course it was a very tense affair, wasn't it? But Nigel did come through to claim the victory. Of course the time is his championship rival was Hunter, who's no longer with us, unfortunately, in ALR. Of course he had a very difficult start to the season, hasn't he, Hunter has, but yeah, and of course when Nigel joined us, I think it was around it was Azerbaijan, wasn't it? The 4th round of the season, wasn't it? It's great to see Nigel back in defending his crown. And I've got to say that I tell you what, Nigel is getting better and better. It's quite scary, isn't it? Because Nigel is doing a bit of experimentation, isn't he, with the car, with the setup. So I'm wondering if he's going to put on a full assault to reclaim his crown in season 3. Who knows? Who knows? Anything can happen, can it? And of course, Chris has just said, you know it, mate. Hope you're well. I'm always well. I'm loving life at the moment. I'm especially loving chicken, I gotta say. Oh, blimey, Rocket Tony, isn't he? He's going into the wall. He's in the wall. He is in the wall. That's a damaged Red Bull. He is out qualifying. He has damaged the end plate. He's gone into the tyre barrier. And of course, we've seen a lot of drivers go in there. Of course, remember 2009, the qualifying 2009. My goodness me, 3 red flags. Kovalainen somehow kept us out of the wall, though, didn't he? I think that was one of his best drivers in his career, which also includes the race he had in Hungary as well. Of course, where he won the race. Well, the race did fall us up there, but Kovalainen's a good driver, but I think that was one of his best drivers, keeping out of the wall. So fantastic stuff. Craig there was just starting his lap then in the Alfa Romeo. Farf is 2/10 of a second up. He is going on to the hot medium tyres now. So yeah, he's coming into spoon end. Yellow flags are fluttering in too. So unfortunately for Rocket Tony, we've lost Maxi and we've lost Rocket Tony then in this qualifying session. So that's a big blow indeed, isn't it, for those guys then. And now we're on board then with Farf, and of course Farf at the moment, Farf's qualifying battle against his teammates is 10-3. So Farf has done a very good job in qualifying this season, hasn't he? And I think it's going to be 11. It's going to he's out qualified his teammates on 10 occasions. I think it's going to be 11 here tonight, and he's up into 2nd position. So Farf should be happy with that, and I think that should get him through as well. Granty on and out lap at the moment. Exile is as well, and so is New F1 and Stringy. Exile might need to get a move on. Really, he's on the other side of the track. Craig is just coming down his spoon, I should say. And so let's see what Craig can do. I'll tell you what, Craig is looking very interesting, very impressive indeed, isn't he, tonight? So he's coming up to the 130R. So then, now let's see what Craig can do then in the Alfa Romeo. Of course, his teammate is Nigel tonight, and Nigel's qualifying battle against his teammate. He's out qualified his teammate 6 times. Nigel has this season. So, but what about Craig? What can Craig do as well then? As he is, you can see, look at that fight in the cars, and he comes across the line, and he is 300 of a second down. I love the shot of the suspension. Now that is beautiful camera work indeed. Here comes William now. Qualifying is done and dusted. So out of qualifying is William, I think, might be out of qualifying as well, unfortunately. So William is out of qualifying. Craig can have another shot if he has the fuel in the car and maybe the tires as well. Vara's shot is just on at the moment. What about Stringy? Stringy's at the wall. He's at the wall at Degner 2. Stringy, that's a big blow for Stringy. He is in qualifying. He's a 10th in front of William, but I'm not sure how safe he's going to be. And I wonder if these yellow flags are going to hurt anyone who's on the lap at the moment. Granty is on the lap. He's 4/10 of a second up in the Renault, and that is a good time there from Granty then. I got to say, I'm actually William now is out of qualifying, so that's 3 men out of qualifying. Then Craig possibly out as well, but Farshot might be able to sneak through. I got to say, this is a great qualifying session. It's probably one of the best of the year, hasn't it? Because we're seeing the top guys really go for it, hammer and tongs then into the triangle chicane then. And you can see then not taking too much curb bend. Oh, the second half was a lot of curb bend, but is that enough? And see, he's almost out of deployment as he comes across the line. Let's see what he does. Oh, beautiful stuff from Grant. And he's on the soft compound tyre. Very interesting indeed there. I'm loving this mixture of strategy. Farshot has snuck up into 2nd position then. And I think that, Farshot is now in the 2nd position. So he's also on the soft tyres as well then. Lovely mixture of strategy. then. So unfortunately, out of qualifying, we have Maxi, Rockatoni, Craig, William and Stringy are all out of qualifying, unfortunately. And that is gonna, those 5 drivers are gonna be now sitting on the sidelines and watching Q3 of the rest of us. So I think they'd love to be a part of it, really, but unfortunately, that's not going to be the case then. So then into Q3, then look at these, listen to these names that's in Q3. We've got Branty, we've got Farshot, new F1, 2 Renaults out there, brilliant. We got Jonathan, Forth, Farf, Fisher, Emerson, Murphy, Nigel, Exile. Wow. That's a great collection of names, isn't it? Oh my goodness me! Who's going to be on pole position? I would like to hear your predictions. I gotta say, it's basically like picking the lottery numbers, isn't it? It's going to be incredible whoever gets this pole position. And I tell you what, they would have earned it as well. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to this. I can't wait. I really can't wait. Just taking a look at Grant and who's on professional pole. I got to say then, I think Grant he has a lot of fast laps this season. He has 3 fastest laps Grant does this season, but in pole position terms, I think he only has 1 so far this season. Grant does. Can he make it? Can he make it a second here tonight? Which is going to be really interesting. Of course, in terms of the stats and the numbers, you've got to say that Murphy has to be favourite because he has had 3 pole positions this season, hasn't he, in ALR? So I wonder if he'll be thinking about grabbing a 4th here tonight. And you can see then, so only 2 men are starting on the soft compound tires in the top 10. That is Granty and Fireshot. So very attacking mindset there. Beautiful. Everyone else is on the medium tires then. So just taking a quick reminder of the 5 drivers who bowed out in the second qualifying session. That was Maxi, Rockatoni, Craig, William, and Stringy are all done. Unfortunately, they're out of Q2. So then we're just building up to Q3 then. Oh my goodness, this is going to be it's going to be fascinating, isn't it? Of course, in Japan there, we've had some incredible showdowns, haven't we? Over the years. Of course, who can forget the 1989, 1990 Grand Prix? Unfortunately, both ended in collisions between the Senna and Prost, didn't they? The second one was a lot more blatant than the first one, because it was all the debacle, wasn't it? About the pole position being on the wrong side. And of course, Senna basically drove into the back of Alan Prost, didn't he? So, which was very controversial, wasn't it? Look, one of my personal favourite Japanese Grand Prix was, I think it was the 1998 one. I think it was great to see Mika Hakkinen winning his first title, wasn't it? Out of 2. And Jonathan there, always, of course, fashionably early here in Q3, and you can see a lovely shot of him sporting that beautiful red and white helmet. And as he is aiming to get on pole position, he's aiming to repeat his incredible victory this time with his last here in Japan in ALR. And I tell you what, you'll be a fool to bet against the British Italian driver, definitely, as he's coming up the S's as well. Yeah, 98 I think was one of my personal races. Schumacher, unfortunately, still on the grids, coming from the back field. He was absolutely phenomenal that day, wasn't he? Unfortunately, just luck conspired against him as well. He changed his helmet, didn't he? He went for a chrome helmet, didn't he, that day? And I'm wondering, of course, a lot of F1 drivers are superstitious, aren't they? And I think changing your helmet really wasn't a good idea, especially as it worked well from up to that season. One man who was really superstitious about helmet change was Vettel, wasn't it? As he used to have a different helmet every time he won a race. Did Sebastian? He probably doesn't do that well, he doesn't do it often anymore because of the silly rule in F1, but even if that rule wasn't in place, I don't think he'd be doing it that often these days, would he? Unfortunately for the Ferrari driver, and he had a bit of a mare in Brazil, didn't he? Both him and Charles Leclerc. I'll make your minds up on that incident, but well, I'm going to give my opinion. I think it was. I think it might have been. I think I was leaning towards more if it was Vettel's fault rather than Charles Leclerc, personally. But that's a good way to open up the debate, isn't it? I do feel that Vettel was probably squeezing him on the track there. I know there's a lot of room on the left-hand side of Leclerc, but yeah, I don't know. Anyway, enough about that, because we're going to have a lot of, I reckon we're going to have a lot of incidents in this race because it's a narrow track, it's an old school track, isn't it? The barriers are so close to the track as well, and especially up the S's there, we have seen a lot of cars that struggle up there already, haven't we? 9 minutes to go in this session, and we have got his laggy saying that, to be honest, his tops off Sites fantastic season with a podium. It had to be. I got to say, Carlos Sites has been absolutely amazing this season, hasn't he? In the McLaren, really has. He's been fantastic. Martin Brundle's been saying for years how good Carlos Sainz was. To be fair, he was pretty good in the Toro Rosso, wasn't he? He was matching for Staffin more or less. Oh, Jonathan going very well in the second Degner there. I wonder if he lost him a bit of time then. He's coming into the hairpin now, and you can see looking dropping down in the second gear. Then of course the Kobayashi hairpin. Kobayashi made that as a hairpin his own, didn't he? Back in 2010. Him and Alguersuari banging wheels, getting their elbows out, weren't they? Alguersuari is really determined not to let Kobayashi pass, but unfortunately damaged his front wing in the process of being ultra defensive. You can see going on the outside of Spoon then, and now then you can see now coming down the hill before it raises up then, coming to the 130 yard, and this corner used to be so fearsome, didn't it, back in the day? Now it's kind of easy flat. Remember, Fernando Alonso had an incredible overtake, didn't he? On Michael Schumacher nonetheless. Oh, Jonathan there not looking at Ballard there, is he? But anyway, enough about that. I don't think the Ballard is not going to bother Jonathan too much, is it? And that is a 28-6 from the gauntlet down. What about Fisher? What about Murphy? What about Emerson? Emerson is second at the moment. Look at that, he's done a 29-2 there, Emerson has. I think he'd be disappointed at that. What about Fisher then coming into the triangle chicane? Car 13 then for the Mercedes driver as he accelerates away now nicely. Look at DRS is available now, and Fisher goes pole position by a 10th of a second from Jonathan at the moment, who is in second position. Nigel's in the second Degner. Granty, Murphy's gone pole position. He's going for 4 tonight, isn't he? And I tell you what, where's that come from the Ferrari driver? Fantastic. Here comes Granty. He is 4 fast at the moment behind Jonathan. Farf's on that moment. Here comes Exile then. Exile then. He's had a fantastic season as well, hasn't he? Exile. He's been solid, hasn't he? Oh, but he's solidly in the pits now. So we're going to stay with Nigel then. Yellow flag sector 3 floating around. Hopefully it's no one who's had any incidents, because we don't want to be robbed of oh no, Nigel's gone off. He's facing the wrong way. It's Spoon, and unfortunately that is not good at all for Nigel, so he's going to have to abandon that lap and come back into the pits. So after that incredible, well, we haven't even finished the first round of yet, have we? Fireshot is still in the pits. Fireshot is I ain't allowed to go next for some reason. I've got to go around all the other way. So in the moment, Farf's on out of the promoter. So here comes Farf, and Farf is going for. He hasn't had a pole position yet this season, has he? Farf has. Remember, he had 2 wins in the beginning of the season. He's had a fastest lap as well, but unfortunately the DNFs have really started to accumulate, haven't they? He's had 5 DNFs this season. Farf has. But can he recover? Can he snatch the? I think out of the top 4, he's probably the least favourites, not because of his talent, but unfortunately because of the points at the moment. But can he rediscover his form like he did earlier on the season? Now let's go on board with Farf, and the sun once again very low, isn't he, on the drivers as they come through the final corner, then turn 18, and now then here he goes and through into turn 1 and 2. Of course, turn 18, it's not really a difficult corner, is it? But then you feel that bumping, and it can be very difficult indeed. Montoya had a big old smash there in 2005, didn't he? Of course, the safety car. And of course, Glock there ended his 2009 season earlier, didn't he, in the Toyota? Where he crashed heavily there as well. I think it was a free practice, free or qualifying, perhaps. I can't remember, but of course that was actually actually enabled Kobayashi to make his debut in the Toyotas as well. I tell you what, his Brazilian debut was fantastic. Got to say, Kobayashi was one of my more favourite drivers back then. Brilliant stuff as well. And then he took it to Jensen Button as well in Abu Dhabi in 2009. So yeah, brilliant stuff from Kobayashi. So of course his last season was back in 2014 for Caterham, which was not a lot to write home about, unfortunately. For the Japanese drivers. Of course, we've had a couple of other incredible Japanese drivers as well, and one of the more infamous ones is Taki Inoue, who got hit by the safety car in '95 in Hungary. Yeah, so of course, well, we also had other great Japanese drivers as well. Of course, Takuma Sato was a very good driver, wasn't he? But I think that sometimes he just sometimes he probably could have and should have achieved more than what he did, really, especially in that 2004 BAR. Which is a shame now for Taki. Of course, we also had Gui Suzuki as well, of course, driving the Ligier in his final season of '95. Farfit is coming back in the pits then, and he is abandoning his outlane. So here comes new F1 then, who's on a lap at the moment, and I think he is coming back in the pits then. So he's 4th at the moment in front of his teammate. Granted, at the moment, so new F1 so far, his qualifying battle is 3 for 3. So he hasn't been out qualified by a teammate this season at new F1, so that's an incredible achievement in on himself, isn't it, from the Renault man, car 22. Yeah, well done to new F1, brilliant qualifier, isn't he? I tell you what, he stormed up, didn't he? And he is since debuting, hasn't he, a couple of races ago, he has been fantastic, hasn't he? So we've got under 4 minutes to go then. I can as Jonathan out there once again quite early on, so we're watching the racing point as he comes into the triangle chicane then. And here we go then, it's about to start us up then. Look at that then, a 28.4, a 28.5, a 28.6. That is the top three. It is Murphy, it is Fisher, it is Jonathan. Fisher is not in the championship hunt. Murphy potentially can get himself in the championship hunt. He's mathematically still in the championship hunt, but look how bumpy it is on the pit apron there. It's incredible, isn't it? But yeah, it's incredible, isn't it? I wonder, how does your psyche change though in terms of when you're not in the championship? Of course, Murphy is if it all goes his way, he can potentially sneak in, can he? I don't think Fisher mathematically I suppose he could, but he has a very long shot, isn't it, for both Murphy and Fisher, isn't it? So I feel that surely when they're fighting guys like Jonathan, Granty, Emerson, and Favre, I wonder if those guys in the championship will be thinking about moving out of the way. It's very interesting psyche, isn't it? So far, we've had 4 men who hasn't qualified so far. So we've got Farfexal, Farshot, and Nigel, who haven't set their times yet. We got Twan, who's in the comments there. Of course, Twan was meant to race here tonight, wasn't he? In the racing point. Of course, he was great to make his full-time return now in the racing point to replace the Irishman Renzo, unfortunately. But hopefully, we'll see Renzo back fairly soon. Maybe even next season. It'd be great to see Renzo back. A very good driver indeed, Renzo is, and he's also a good laugh. Another man who, of course, Twan's also a good laugh. So I remember he joined me in Bahrain in season 1, didn't he? I tell you what, we got like a house on fire. Well, I think we did. He might not like me at all, but you know, but yeah. Anyway, enough about me being, you know, liked and everything. Let's go back to Twan, shall we? Yeah, he's sending my broken legs to the drivers. Unfortunately, I had some connection problems. Yeah, so of course, Twan was ready to make his racing point debut. I'll tell you what, that was a great team, isn't it? Twan and Jonathan. Oh, that would have really been interesting in the constructors battle, wouldn't it? I gotta say, in terms of constructors at the moment, I feel that Renault have really got a firm grip now, haven't they? They got phenomenal drivers in Granty and UF1. Of course, remember in terms of the drivers and where they're going to go next season, the driver draw will be made after the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix, round 21 for next season, and it's all random as well. And of course, there will be a video being released about the live draw as well. But it's all random, isn't it? So of course, so in terms of in terms of teams who gets the best it could be anything, can't it? I'll tell you what, that's what's made the constructors so great this season as well. A lot of people probably don't even care about the constructors. I do. I love it. So is that Farf going through the second deck now? And I think it's what's made the constructors battle incredibly well. They're so close, aren't they, the constructors? It is 127 points that separates the whole constructors field. It's incredibly close. And it's been a good season on battle. Of course, Renault now do have a firm grip, don't they? But of course, next season, who knows will be where. And of course, keep an eye out for that. That's going to be good. That's going to be good indeed. The flag in at 2. Everyone is on an outlook apart from Farf is going to the track evolution like it is everywhere else. Is going to be a steep climb, isn't it? Talking a steep climb, here comes Farf coming up to the hill now, coming to the 130 yard. Look at him, look at the sun there, right in his eyes there, and you can see them just not even feathering the throttle easy on that Red Bull Honda. Of course, we got 2 Honda power cars in the top 10. We could have had 3 on the podium in Brazil. What a shame that was. Now Farf avoiding that bump as best as possible. DRS, and he goes 7 fastest there for Farf, and 29.4 there for Farf. So he's a little out of it currently. As a Granty, and that's Exile who's gone right off the track there. We've only got 30 seconds to get themselves sorted and get themselves across the line, so they've got to get a move on as quickly as possible. And now Granty there, who is 5th at the moment, and he is 15 points away from Emerson in the championship. Emerson had a bit of a nightmare in Russia, didn't he? Unfortunately, there is. I got to say though, he was lucky to continue racing, wasn't he? How the hell did that horse stay in one piece after a big old smash? Sam went into the barrier there, didn't he? And then Emerson was so close behind him, and Sam's car came ricochet back on the track. And how was that? It didn't even get a damage on that horse. It was incredible, wasn't it? I'll tell you what, the Americans build them strong, don't they? Muscle cars, impressive stuff. Grant there coming out of the hairpin now. As you can see, then he is just tweaking the ERS. You can see that the ERS is down in the bottom right hand side. There's a lightning bolt along with 4 as well coming into Spoon then. This is getting really interesting indeed, isn't it? Everyone is still entitled to go for pole position moment. It is Dan Murphy on pole position as it stands then. This would be his 4th for the season, and this will also be his 4th in his entire career as well. That just shows how impressive Dan has been this season. He's been phenomenal. But now here comes Granty then. He's going for his 2nd pole of the season and coming on the triangle chicane and accelerating the way now nicely. What does he do then? What does he do as Far finishes his lap? Granty is on pole position by 2/10 of a second. What a time now from Granty. Murphy is 400 of a second down on his personal best. Jonathan is also out there as well. New F1 is flying. New F1 is flying now. I know we've got Exile out there as well, and so far, and we've got Nigel as well. But who is going to be first on the cross line? I think it's New F1. Here he is, the Renault driver now. Is it going to be an all Renault front row? Let's find out now. Here he comes in across the line now, on board there with UF1, and he goes 3rd fastest, and UF1 is 3rd on the grid at the moment, and Fisher goes 2nd fastest. Fisher is not on pole position, but what about Murphy? No, Emerson is on pole position. That's his 1st pole position of his career, but was Murphy going to take away? No, he's not. Emerson is on pole position, and his 1st ever pole position of his career. Here comes Far Shot. Can Far Shot then come across the line now? And oh, this is not looking good like that. Far Shot, he stays in 10th position. Emerson is on pole position for his 1st ever of his career. That is a brilliant time to get pole position as well for Emerson. Wow, what a qualifying there. Emerson pulled it out of the bag, and look at it, the top 2 in the championship are also the top 2 on the grid. This is set up beautifully, isn't it? Well, let's just hope it the centre and Prost that happened in 19. Emerson is on pole position by 10th of a second from Granty Point. Emerson, his 1st pole position of his career, fantastic. Fisher is 3rd, never count him out. He's done fantastic this season, especially in the last 2 races. Murphy in 4th position, 2/10 of a second away. Then UF1 5th. Jonathan in 6th position. Nigel 7th with Exile in 8th. Farf is down in 9th, and Farshot is 10th. What an incredible qualifying session it is. We're now getting ready for the race then. Grant, he's just said, well played, Emerson. Jonathan is not happy with the traffic there. He's saying too much traffic, which cost him. We've also got X-Gamer saying, congratulations, Emerson. And Nathan Hughes has gone, yes, lad. Nicely done. We've also got Tristan saying, come on. John, you go for the win now. Oh, look at that. That's an amazing amount of cloud cover. And, oh, my goodness me. I got to say, I do love a bit of rain. So, yeah, this is not ideal for the drivers, is it? But it looks like it's slick tires at the moment. But as Jonathan said, there is a potential for rain. There's going to be a rain shower, we think, halfway through this race before it dries up. How much is the rain going to come? Remember, we've had some incredible races in Suzuka in the wet. Well, we've also had some tragic ones as well. Of course, Bianchi in 2014, unfortunately, and also we had another traffic. Well, could have been an awful one in Japan '94, wasn't it? Very lucky, where Martin Brundle hit a marshal, didn't he? And no, luckily though, the marshal did. I think he just broke his legs in the end. But yeah, it's still not a nice thing, was it? So anyway, then, and it was at the same corner as well, wasn't it? Down at Dunlop. Right then, we have got 20 cars around the Suzuka circuit. When is it going to rain? Or is it going to rain? Or is it just a very murky, overcast day here in Suzuka? Well, or is it going to be like 2000, of course, where the rain was threatening, but it never properly arrived then? Anyway, enough about the rain. Let's get ready for the race, shall we? And X-Gamer's gone, rain. So I wondered if the rain is very close indeed, because Jeff will be telling all these drivers about the weather, and whether you believe Jeff or not is a different story. Anyway, 27 laps around Suzuka, and this is going to be a fantastic race. This is a driver circuit, isn't it? And look at all those tires. Everyone is on different tires. Everyone is chosen a slightly different strategy, and that's what we like to see. On pole position, his first ever pole position is Emerson. A fantastic qualifying from Emerson. He is on pole position. Brilliant from Emerson. Second, and that's what he needed. Second position is Granty. The top 2 in the championship are also the top 2 in this race. This is going to get very, very interesting indeed. Medium tires for Emerson. Granty on the soft. Fisher in 3rd position then. 4th is Murphy. 5th is New F1 with Jonathan in 6th position. Nigel 7th. Exile is in 8th. Farf down in 9th position. 1 over 2 after that with Fireshot in 10th. Remember, he was on pole position back in Russia. 11th position is Stringy. 12th position is William. 13th is Craig. 14th is Rockatoni with Maxi in 15th. Dragon is in 16th. 17th position is Laggy. 18th is X-Gamer. 19th is Grillsy. And 20th is Gooner, who is on the soft tires then. So the tire selection is this. Grillsy is the only man. We're on board with him now. He is on the hard compound tire. The only man going on the hard tire. Granty and Fireshot are on the the only men on the soft tires in the top 10. We've also got William and Craig on soft as well, Maxi on soft, Laggy and Gamer on soft as well, and Gunnar. And that might be a shrewd move, because if the rain is coming, then surely you want to be on the softest tire. But when is the rain going to come? That is the question then. I feel like I'm a weather forecaster all of a sudden. Anyway, but the rain is going to be a big factor in this race, no doubt about it. I'm comfy, I'm in position, I am ready to get going. All these guys are ready to get going as well. We're going to wait for those 5 sets of lights to come on. When they go out, we'll be racing Suzuka. 4, 5, there'll be a pause, and we are go now. We are. Again, no, the lights are being held on, and now we go, and it's a it's a very good start from the runner there. It's a very good start from Murphy. He's floated the third already. Fantastic maneuver from Murphy. Craig is up 2 positions as well then, as he swoop into turn 1, and Exile's gone. Exile's gone. That's a huge accident for Exile. He is out of the race. Oh my goodness me! Nigel, Exile, and Farf have all been involved in a shunt. I'm not sure what's happened there, but my goodness me! And that Farf is down in 18th position. 19th position is Nigel, and that is a major blow. Granty is battling with Murphy. Murphy is just shoving him up the hill then. Don't know what happened at turn 1 there, but that's a major incident in turn 1. And Jonathan's going to go on the outside, going into Degner 1. He's going to have the inside Degner 1. No, not quite then. Oh, but Fisher's gone wide. Fisher's gone wide, and look who's gone through. New F1 is through as well. Fisher's having a appalling start, and yellow flags are starting to float around because we've got all sorts going on there. Oh no, we've got another incident. It's Craig and Dragon, and then we've also got Stringy as well. And oh my goodness me, it's all gone off here in the first couple of laps. Then we're going to have an awful lot of pit stops here, and now Stringy then is just recovering as well. Dragon also recovering. My goodness me. And Fireshot there is just hanging on. Gunar's up into 8 positions. Fantastic stuff from Gunnar. And oh, that's a Ferrari there just in front of us. Lightly is up 7 positions. 9 positions is Gamer. Brilliant stuff from Gamer. Rocket Tony there is he's not got damage there. He's got a lot of understeer though, and now they're coming up the hill then, as you can see then. 5/10 of a second separates the front two of Granty and Emerson, and Murphy is not too far behind either. Now they're going into the 130R. He is going into the 130R, but Gamer there holds this line. The Belgian driver, so once again nose to tail. But look at this, as Grossi has had a fantastic start. He's on the hard tire. Emerson sets fast off the race then, as we come through the complete lap run here in Suzuka then. Wow, well, I tell you what, that was an incredible opening couple of laps. But look at Fisher now going to go on the inside. Is he going down into turn 1? This is oh my gosh, they make contact. Fisher corrects the car, and then that's a big massive accident. William and Fisher, Exile's left possession, and Fisher corrected the car, and unfortunately William was in the wrong place at the wrong time, as Fisher is just trying to, oh my goodness me, and now William there just running Rocket Tony out of room. Gamer is dropping down there into 9th position, and William there struggling with positions as well, and he has damaged the car. And goodness me, I tell you what, the opening couple of laps was absolute destruction derby at the moment then. It's as Fisher there is also crawling back to the pits then. We got a lot of pit activity. Stringy in the pits then, and all these guys coming on the pits now then, but as you can see, Nigel in the pits as well. My goodness me, and oh my goodness me, look at this then. And we have got an amazing battle for the yellow flag in 1 and 2. What's going on in 1 2? Nothing, I hope. And you can see there it's just the guys recovering. Back to the battle here then. This is what we wanted to see. We want to see the 2 championship rollers battling out. Granty is on the soft tires, medium tires for Emerson, and as you can see then, Granty is now gaining on Emerson. Then after that, after all the incidents going on in the first couple of laps, and we've only had one return with Exile, which got taken out in the first corner. So we'd like to see what happened there. Jonathan is now all over the back of Murphy, and he has moved himself on the third. Remember, the top 3 going to be in the top 3 in the race as well. Maxi is in front, and Maxi's on a flying start. He's up in the 5th position. Fantastic stuff from the Williams driver. Brilliant stuff. Grant is at the fast half of the race. Jonathan is now all over the back of Murphy, but Grant is now all over the back of Emerson's one. Look, there's Jonathan on the outside of Murphy, but Murphy keeps his line and is in that 3rd position still. Look at all that debris on the outside of the corner there. We had all sorts of shenanigans on the opening couple of laps then. 5 seconds back is Laggy, who is in front of Gamer now. Grossi in 10th, 9th position. Rocketoni in 10th. Dragon 11th. 12th is William, who's in the pits then. Fisher is also in the pits as well, going on the soft compound tyre. We're not sure how long until the rain comes, but my goodness me, we've had all sorts of issues going on in the opening couple of laps. My goodness. As Exile just put, what a mess, and by the looks of it, we didn't see what happened, but there was a lot of messy incidents in the opening 2 or 3 laps, wasn't there? Hopefully these guys can calm down now. Remember, this is a very difficult track, isn't it? But wow, yeah, and unfortunately for Exile there, he was out before he even got to turn 2, unfortunately. And the Fisher there is, we got yellow flags floating around somewhere. Fisher, I think, is just gone one in turn one. Then Gunnar just got on the pits on the medium tires as well. And you can see, look at this, look at the front four there in the same shot then as they come up to the 130R once again then. And you can see then, Emerson is under a lot of pressure there. When was the last time Emerson won a race? Well, it wasn't that long ago actually, was it? It was back in Belgium was the last time that Emerson won a race, wasn't it? That was his fourth race of his career. And you can see that he's going to have to work for this one, isn't he? And they're coming through once again then. And look at this, now Grant's got DRS down. It's got DRS as well. DRS is not that powerful around here, is it? But it's still just a helping hand nonetheless, isn't it? Now they're coming to turn one. Wow, look at that! And now they're into turn two. As Max is now in front of New F1 and moved up into fifth position. And look at this, the Belgian drivers once again battling for position. This is the pride of a nation, isn't it? So the Belgians getting up in the 7th position, Langy in 8th position, Grills in 9th, and 10th position now is Rockatoni and Dragon there. Oh, he's going to stick on the inside. He's up to the inside. That's a great move from Rockatoni. Incredible move from Rockatoni. What a move from the Red Bull driver. Fantastic stuff. William there in 30. You can see that the gap is 25 seconds. The gap between 11th and 12th position because of all the incidents. We got rain. We got rain in this race. Oh my goodness me! And now this is where it's going to get really, really tense indeed. Farfus just at the fast lap of the race. That might be the fastest lap of the whole race then. Oh my goodness me, and that is a lot of rain very quickly on. We got a downpour here, haven't we? As that far shot has dropped down into 70th position then. And this is going to be very interesting indeed then. So who is going to, the man on the right tires at the moment then is Granted, because of course these soft tires are going to have more grip, aren't they? Oh, now who is, we got yellow flag in 2, what's going on in 2? Oh, and those are, Jonathan is also gone, what is what, and they're all struggling, and Gamers are just gone off the track as well. Spoon looks to be very slippery indeed. String's got a 5-second penalty, and Grills is going up the inside. We've got more cars that are struggling, and Stringy there, oh, Stringy's gone off, and Degner too as well. It's all going off here, and oh my goodness me. And wow, Emerson's in the pits already. Emerson is coming to pits then. Wow, it's, you can see we've got a load of pit stops and intermediate tires already. This is an absolutely incredible downpour here. Emerson in the pits, Murphy in the pits, and everyone is in the pits apart from Granty. He has stayed out, and I think is he stayed out too long. And we've also got the Ferrari in the pits as well, and on the intermediate tires. And this is oh goodness me! Oh, that's a car. Who's that? That's Dragon, who has missed the pit, and now he's coming in the pits now. Oh my gosh. And as you can see then, we got yellow flag in 2. What's going on in 2? Just taking a quick look. So Grant there has stayed out on those dry tyres. I'm wondering if that, let's just take a look then. Emerson is 20 seconds behind it. Look at that rain. This is a lot of rain so early on. It's down to 19 seconds, and Granty is going to, this could be a championship error. This could be a championship losing error, isn't it, from Granty, because he's dropping down. Look how much he's dropping down then. Look at how much the rain is coming down already in this race. Remember, this was a dry race at the beginning of the race, and now all of a sudden it's completely wet. And Jonathan there almost losing it, coming out of Dunlop there, and that is allowing UF1 there to really gain on Jonathan there in the racing point as they come to the second deck now. Then you can see a lot of cars are out of position here, aren't they? As that is a lot of rain so quickly on. Jonathan is struggling for performance then at the moment then, and now he's coming into the hairpin, and oh, UF1 there just about staying on the back end of Jonathan. The gap is down to 12 seconds then, so it's a major mistake for Granty. He should have come in the pits, and unfortunately that is not helping him at all now, isn't it? Look at it, it's down to 11 seconds. He's going to be an awful long way behind of where he was because he stayed out a lap too long. The golden rule in Formula 1 in these wet road conditions is be on the right tyre at the right time. Unfortunately, Granty is not on the right tyre now because everyone else is going to the medium tyres, haven't they? And so as Emerson is now going to have a very it's going to have a very uphill Granty's going to have a very steep uphill climb now. As Jonathan, they're getting very weavy there, isn't he? As he's really struggling at the moment, isn't he? As now Granty is in the pits, and DRS has been disabled then. It was disabled quite early on as well, as Granty just said, wow, that rain has come out of nowhere. Of course, Granty, look at him, he's dropping down the field, and this is a big blow for Granty then. Here he comes out of the pits now, but Maxie's behind. Maxie's going behind Laggy. No, you can see there's a big old gap at the moment, isn't there? Between well, there was a big old gap between the 6th and 7th, but you can see they're closing it down. And Grows in 9th position, Rockatoni 10th. And now they're all starting to get spread out then. So this is the closest battle on track in the moment between 3rd and 4th position mode. Emerson is now leading by 4.1 seconds from Murphy, who is 2nd. And then Jonathan is in 3rd position, about 5 seconds away from Murphy. And then UF1 is right. Oh, Jonathan's off the track. He's off the track. And then where is he? He has dropped down. He's struggled in that corner the lap before, and now he's dropped down to 4th position. Then so Jonathan unfortunately is struggling in these wet weather conditions at the moment in time. And now Maxi is not too far away with it. This is Maxi's best. Remember, he had his best race so far in his career was back in Canada, wasn't he? And had a barnstorming of a drive, didn't he, in Canada? And again, he is showing some speed in these very tricky conditions, isn't it? Here in at Suzuka, and I've got to say, and Maxi there just taking a bit too much of a cute angle coming out of the hair from there on board the Williams drive now. And this is a good point off for Williams, aren't they? I think they're last in the constructors at the moment, just behind McLaren. Both McLaren drivers are 18th and 19th. Gunnar and Stringy are 18th and 19th, and really struggling at the moment in this race. So wow, what an incredible start to the race. We had all sorts of shenanigans on the opening couple of laps. My goodness me. Yeah, there was all manner of instances, wasn't it? Turn 1, Exile didn't even get by turn 1. We had a lot of people off of Degna in the Degna 1 sector as well, I think it was. And now Jonathan, you can see, look at the opposite lot there on board. Then the British Italian driver then, who is third in the championship now. Fireshot has got a 5-second penalty. He's really struggling down in 14th position at the moment, Fireshot, and that's another penalty to his name then. The gap is down to 4.1 seconds then between Murphy and Emerson. Murphy has not won a race yet in ALR. This could be potentially his best opportunity. Yellow flag in 1, and what's going on in 1 is Gunnar. Gunnar is just recovering there, but Gunnar's got a problem, and he's just trying to get out of the way then. In the McLaren end, we've also got Fireshot, who's got off as well, and that's it. Spoon again for Fireshot. So Fireshot struggling, and then these conditions are really causing all manner of issues. I don't even know you're fighting 1, and it's Gunnar. Oh my goodness me! And he is just, I think it's Dunlop. He's struggling to get around there, and he's just trying to recover back on track there. And my goodness, good job. Ghost was off there. Oof, I'm not sure who that was, but that was very Larry, wasn't it? So Gunnar there having almighty issues there in the moment. Is it? Gunnar is out of the race, so he is retired from this race. This is his very first race, Gunnar. So he is the most experienced driver in the field. There, Fireshot is in the pits then for the Haas team, and he is retired from the session as well. So Fireshot out of the race as well. Unfortunately, it wasn't just going his way at all, was it? In the Haas said, so that's a shame for Fireshot. Then of course remember on pole position last one, and then it didn't go well at all for him in qualifying this time on board of Emerson. Now he's got a 5-second lead. This is what Emerson needs, isn't it? Of course he's going for his 5th win this season. This is the time where he needs to get back on top. And you can see you got yellow flags floating around. It's very difficult, isn't it, when as Gunnar is after session, it's very difficult to pinpoint when the yellow flags are when they're floating around. And you can see the sun is starting to break through here in Japan. We're on lap 8 of an incredible opening series of laps here. Fireshot is after session as well, and so yellow flags floating in 1. Just seeing why. And there's a car. That's new F1 who's gone off the track there. He's off the track. He had a big enough buffer there to stay in front of Jonathan, but my goodness me, that's going to allow Jonathan to really reel up. Remember, no DRS in these wet weather conditions, is it? But my goodness me, this has been an absolutely incredible opening start then to the Japanese Grand Prix. Wow. So then in the terms of the championship, it stands at the moment. Grant is on the back foot. He is down in 6th position. Jonathan is in 4th position. Emerson is going to extend the lead in the championship. It's 15 points currently. I'm not going to do one mass now, but it's looking very strong for Emerson, isn't it? Of course, remember this is round 17 out of 21. We got 129 points still up for grabs, so anything can happen in this championship still. There's a Grievous has got a 3-second penalty there. There's going to be an awful lot of penalties after this race, I have no doubt about that. UF1 is now starting to pull away again there from Jonathan at the moment, or he was, but Jonathan, I'll tell you what, has got a slippery car. And looking in, what's going on in sector 2. It is Rocket Tony who's off the track. Rocket Tony's off at Degna 2, and he's just recovering now, but he has lost. He's now out of the points head in the Red Bull, so he has dropped down to 11th position then as it stands. How long is this race going to be? Because apparently he's meant to drive until at the end of the race then. My goodness me. Oh no, Jonathan's off the track. Jonathan's off the track there. And he was, I think he was alright. I don't think he's lost too much time. Well, he's lost a bit of time there to Maxi, who is 3-second penalty there for Dragon. So Maxi is now within a second, but as we said just a minute ago, there's no DRS in these wet weather conditions. And look at that, and that just shows how much rain is pouring down at the moment. These intermediate tires can disperse 25 litres of water, I think it is. something like that. So that's still a lot of water to disperse, isn't it? Gap at the front is 6.8 seconds now. Emerson is now walking on water, isn't he? Just like he did in Canada. He is loving these conditions. Look at Grant in the background there. Well, I called him a yellow rocket in Russia. He's now a yellow submarine with all this water around at the moment. He is at 2 seconds away at the moment. Rocketoni is in the pits, and so he must have damaged the car when he went off the track at Degno, and he is out of the race as well. So that's 4 retirements in this rain-soaked Japanese Grand Prix. Jonathan there going very leery indeed. And then now he's under a lot of pressure now from Maxi. Maxi would like to get by. Remember, his best race was in Canada, wasn't it? Is he going to have a lunge on the inside? Not quite. Oh, but Jonathan's gone very wide there. He's gone very wide there, and now Maxi's up in the 4th position there. And now he's not giving him much room at all there. And Maxi is through and up in the 4th position. Jonathan is struggling in the wet weather conditions. He's damaged the car. He has damaged the end plate on that racing point. And a yellow flag in one there is I think it's Rocketoni's car, which is just recovering. And now Granty, of course, one of his championship rivals is Jonathan. So now Granty's going to be seeing that pink panther really struggling in this race, isn't he? And he sure is, isn't he? Jonathan is not enjoying these wet weather conditions at all there. And now look at this, as they're coming up to the 130 yard end, and Granty is now all over the back of Jonathan. I wonder if Jonathan's going to have to come in the pits, because that end plate is really damaged. Jonathan there braking a lot later, and he's got a 3 second penalty as well for jumping the curb then. And now accelerating ways. Jonathan coming in the pits. He is coming in the pits then. And my goodness me, that was very close then, wasn't it? So Granty going into the back of him. So Granty is now in the 5th position. Jonathan, this is a major blow, isn't it? I think his worst race of the season was actually in weather conditions like this. Remember, is in Canada, wasn't it? Where he was just struggling for pace, and that rain is getting heavier and heavier out there. They're going to put on the wet weather tyres then, and you can see then there's problems there in the pits then. Jonathan's just come to he hates this damn rain. It's really costing him today, isn't it? That is a major blow. The rain could not come the worst time in terms of the championship positions then. He's out of the pits now. Dragon is, of course, making his debut today in the Mercedes. He is now up into 9th position, Dragon is. Jonathan will stay in the points as it stands at the moment. 17 laps to go in this incredible Japanese Grand Prix. Who knows what's going to happen at the moment? Gamer is now all over the back, and once again these two Belgians cannot be separated, can they? This has been incredible racing between these guys since lap 1. These guys have been following each other up. Here comes car 61 Gamer making his 3rd appearance. Laggy Racer, of course, he's had 13 starts this season for the Ferrari team. And he's done a very good job, hasn't he? He's shown flashes of brilliance as well, as his Gamer as well. In Singapore, he was brilliant, wasn't he? Now then, can he get some more points on the cards? He finished just outside the points in Russia last time out. But he has finished every race that he's competed in so far. Can he get some more points? And I got to say, oh, he's gone on the inside. He's gone on the inside. That's contact. There's contact. He was gone on the inside of Laggy, and oh dear. And now he has to reverse out there, so he's losing time, and that is a shame there for Gamer there, as Laggy and Gamer now coming to contact there. And there's Dragon there just in the background. Farf is now in front of Williams now, so Farf is now just up 10 seconds away from the points as it stands there. I would say that Farf really needs to score some major points here today, doesn't he, if he wants to keep his championship hopes alive. My goodness, but at the moment, then the championship leader, of course, only once since Belgium, has he? But my goodness me, he's got a stranglehold on this race, hasn't he? As a Gamer then is in 8th position and Dragon is in 9th position. There's the sun still trying to break through at the moment. We are expecting it to dry up later on in this race, but it depends. Is it going to be? If it does, it needs to dry up quite soon, doesn't it? If you want to get out on the dry tires. But my goodness, it's been, I tell you, the first 11 laps has just been absolutely barnstorming, haven't they? And that yellow flag and free. Fisher's out. Fisher is retired from the race. And oh, that's a big smash. That's a big smash for Fisher. He's in the middle of the road. He's in the middle of the track. Fisher then, who won the last 2 races, unfortunately is not going to score today in the Mercedes. He is out of the race. And I'm surprised that is not a safety car, to be honest. But oh no! And now Stringy's done exactly the same thing, and that is another smash. So Stringy and Fisher retarded exactly the same place, and so that is, we're down to 14 cars in this incredible race. It's been a race of this has been a race of attrition up there, and now Dragon is now all over the back of Gamer. This is the battle for 9th and 10th. Jonathan is 5 seconds back away from these guys. Grillsy is also all over the back of of laggy race as well. So unfortunately we've lost Stringy, we have lost Fisher, we've lost Rocket Tony, Fireshot, Gooner, Annex are all out of the race. We've got 14 cars left then out of the 20 that started. Grillsy is now all over the back of Laggy's race, and we got two good battles on the track all of a sudden, and you can see once again the sun is still trying to break through, isn't it? How long is this rain going to last for? I think Jonathan is hoping it doesn't last for too much longer, because you can see that unfortunately since the rain's come, this race has gone downhill slightly, hasn't it? He is down in 10th position at the moment. He, well, to be honest, if he repeats his race when he had here in Japan last season, then it's going to be an almighty effort. And you can see Gamer has got a very slippery racing point at the moment, hasn't he? He's pulled away from Dragon at the moment. New F1 has got a 3-second penalty. He's up in the third at the moment. Maxi is doing a cracking job in 4th position. He's doing a fantastic job, Maxi. This is his strongest race result, isn't he? And doing an incredible job out there. Laggy is now under an awful lot of pressure from Grillsy. Grillsy should have got a podium in Russia, shouldn't he? He is a fantastic driver from Grillsy. He saves car coming the wrong time. Now he's got, look at this, he's just so much quicker, he's so much more confident in these conditions. Grillsy says, look at him, he's pushing him up into the hairpin now. Is he going to go on the inside? He's having a look. Laggy is defending that beautifully well, and he stays back at the moment. Now also Gamer and Jonathan's got a 3-second penalty there at the moment. And it's down to 10th position, and Dragon is now all over the back. Remember, Dragon making his debut today, and he is in 9th position. Car 9. He's stolen the number away from Ericsson at the moment. Of course, Ericsson was actually at the Japanese Grand Prix today, wasn't he? He was on the pit wall for the Alfa Romeo. Anyway, but that's not really relevant at this moment in time, is it? And I don't think Laggy doesn't really care about Ericsson either, does he? All he cares about is keeping his 6th position away from Grillsy at the moment. Grillsy, I gotta say, he is. Oh, look at this! And now is Laggy's gone wide. Then Laggy's gone wide. Grillsy's gone up the outside there. Laggy, oh, it's gone too wide into the chicane. That's going to compromise his exit. It has compromised his exit. Grillsy is up into 6th position. Fantastic racing, fantastic racecraft there. Grillsy has moved up into 6th position then. Granty is now under a second away from Maxi. Then Maxi is having and look at Dragon there. He got very squirmish there. Jonathan is now starting to really home in on these two. Quite a rate of knots there, isn't he? And look, there is Jonathan there. He can see his target there just in the foreground, and he'll be really gaining on them as well. Coming into Degner 1 then, we're staying with going to stay then with Granty, who is second in the championship. As it stands at the moment, he is 15 points behind Emerson, but Emerson is really taking a massive chunk now out of Granty. It's going to be over a race win now in front of Granty as we're coming into the final stretch of this Grand Prix of the championship. After this race, we've got 4 more to go. We're going up to Mexico in a week's time. Of course, the altitude there, it's the highest track on the calendar, isn't it, in terms of altitude then, so that's going to be a very interesting Grand Prix as well. Before we go to America in Cota, and then we will be on the final stretch with 2 races in Brazil and then in Abu Dhabi. Is the championship still going to be alive? Of course, last season the championship was won at Abu Dhabi. It would be great if the championship was going to the wire in Abu Dhabi this year, because that would be the final race of the season. Last season it was won with 1 race to go, which is a very tense affair, wasn't it? This season it could be anyone's guess, couldn't it? The race form is yo-yoed around, and I tell you what though, this is a very good drive from Emerson at the moment, isn't it? He is absolutely in firm control of this race, and this is going to definitely start to. Oh, look at the Granty flying up the inside. Oh, is it? There he is, and Max there braking much later into turn 1 and has the advantage going into turn 2 then. So at the moment then, Granty is still at bay at the moment from Maxi. There's his teammate in the foreground. I wonder if Renault are going to employ team orders here. To be honest, I don't think they will, because of course said new F1 and well, they could potentially, but I don't think they will. As Maxi is just hanging on the outside there at Dunlop. We're coming up to half distance in this race, and is it me or is the rain is stopping? I think the rain is starting to ease off here, and we're just going to half distance, so we could have a dry track then. Well, of course, the rain's only just stopping there, but it looks it's not as heavy as it once was. So potentially the rain could stop, and this will definitely help the guys like Jonathan, who is really struggling in the rain, hasn't he? He's down into 10th position now. Before the rain came, he was challenging for a podium. He was on the podium, wasn't he? And unfortunately, it's all just gone wayward then. And Nigel way down in 14th position. It hasn't helped, does it? With all sorts of shenanigans going on the first couple of laps there. Not really sure what happened in the opening. Well, going into turn 1, I don't really know what happened at all, really. But they were flying. They were well off the track then, so it was some big impact. Granty there is once again pushing. The rain has stopped then, so now how long is it going to be before it dries out then? And I wonder if we're going out for dry tyres. Remember, it does depend. The rain was here literally instantly as soon as it arrived, wasn't it? Who is that? Granty's got 3 second penalty there. Who is going to roll the dice? Of course, Granty was battling for the lead as well. Of course, he stayed out a lap too long, didn't he? And that's really cost him for several positions then. So the two men who really didn't like the rain was definitely Granty and Jonathan in this stage so far. Farfetch just outside the points and 11th position with William in 12. 13th is Craig, and Maxi is and Granty's through and up into 4th position then. So Maxi's dropped down to 5th and Granty is up in the 4th, and that looked like a phenomenal overtake there. And unfortunately we missed it because we went back to the battle between Granty, battle between Dragon and oh no, Farf is gone, and where's he gone? And he is at the 130-yard corner. Farf is out of the race. That's his 6th race retirement of the season for the Red Bull driver, and that's a shame. Now you can see he's on the outside then, and we've got 11 cars left, so if you stay in this race you could potentially get some points then, just like in Russia there. Just like in Russia in a week's time now, we only had 11 finishers, didn't we, that day? Today we got 13 at the moment. We've just hit over half distance. Jonathan is through, and it looks like Dragon's had a problem at the SSN, so Jonathan has moved up into 9th position then. He is 2 seconds down the road. 2 seconds down the road was his teammate. There he is in the foreground there. Farf's after session. They're very disappointed, and I think that realistically might be the end of Farf's championship campaign, unfortunately, unless something completely goes awry. So yeah, just in the foreground there is Gamer, and only his 3rd race, but I tell you what, he's done some phenomenal racing so far this season. Really impressive, isn't it, the Belgian driver? Of course, once again the two Belgians seem to be together on track again, don't they? They are 8 seconds apart, but it looks like the game. So, but we might have to close our eyes again into the two Belgians have come together in 2 of the 3 races they've been. Granty is in the pits. This is too early, I think, isn't it, for the dry tyres? Granty is rolling the dice. He's coming in the pits, and then you can see that, and he is on the oh, he's going on the intermediate tyres still. Is that a problem there for Granty? It looks like that this looks like an actual strategy call there for Granty. So I don't think they changed his front wing. So Granty then is come into the pits, and it's changed onto a new set of intermediate tyres. I'm wondering if he feels they ain't going to be dry enough to go on slick tyres. So Granty's going to have a lot more grip now, and he might be able to fly then. Oh, so that's definitely an interesting development here in this race, isn't it, Grant? So Granty is set on a new set of intermediate tyres, and is well, if it stays like this, then he will be in the box seats when he will have a pace advantage. Look, he's a second behind Laggy, so just watch that time come down. Of course, it's 1.5 seconds as it stands at the moment, and that could be starting to eat into. Jonathan is starting to eat into Gamer at the moment, isn't he? He's down to 1.7 seconds. Look at that then, as the sun again is starting to glisten off the track here in this very murky and miserable day. It's been a miserable day for several drivers out. Farf, Stringy, Fisher, Rocket Tony, Fireshot, Gooner and Exile all out of this race. Unfortunately, Exile, through no fault of his own, as he mentioned earlier, by the sounds of it, was a bit of a mess. And that is soft tyres for Nigel. Here he comes out of the pits now then. So he's the first man to roll the dice, and he will be emerging from the pits, you think, in no time at all. There he is. So he's out on the soft tyres. I think it's too wet for the soft tyres. Emerson there just flying by, and we're on board there with Nigel. Let's see what this experiment is like. It's not looking good, is it? He needs to go quicker and quicker, because if the slower he goes, then there's going to be less temperature in the tyres, which means he's going to get less grip, which is just an endless circle here. And you can see he's lost 4 seconds to Craig already in the opening exchanges of this lap, and it's not. I don't think the dry tyres are. Don't think this is a good idea for dry tyres. And it's not. Yeah, it's not good at all. Oh, it's a Nigel there. It's just sliding there. Jonathan is now up into 8th position. He's got by Gamer, who's dropped down to 9th. So Jonathan has now moved up to 8th position then. And oh, look at that! He's got on the outside that Granty has, but he's, oh no! And they've made contact into turn 1. Is that damage? I don't think there is damage. So he just he tried to go on the outside there. Look, Jonathan in the background, but you can see, look at how much more grip he's got then. So then Granty then, who's on the intermediate tyres, put this fresh set of intermediate tyres on, and is really taking a gamble here, and you can see how much more grip he's got then. And oh no, he's got off the track there, and somehow he keeps it going in a straight line. Fantastic driving there from Granty. Really nicely recovered there from Granty. Brilliant stuff. Now they're coming into Degner 2, and now going into the crossover. Oh, and you can see opposite slide, sliding opposite there and then going into the hairpin. And look at it, he's just pushing him through there, isn't he? He's got so much more grip on those new inters. 10 laps to go in this race then. Is it going to dry out? That is the question now. And is it going to be... Oh, look at this. It's going on the outside. He's on the outside going into Spoon then. He just drives right. That's how much the benefit the fresh inter tires are at the moment. And now he's got a 5-second buffer to himself, and that grills it. And so let's see how much time he's going to gain then. And yeah, it's too early. Nigel's now dropped to 42 seconds back, and the track is not drying out as quick as what I thought it would be. So this is going to get very interesting indeed, isn't it? So the track really needs to start to dry out. Well, Nigel, I think it's all over for Nigel, the defending champion, isn't it? I think that another man who unfortunately has fallen by the wayside here today. It's been a very difficult race, isn't it? This is it's not really the race that the championship runners needed. Is it for the likes of Granty, who was really starting to put the pressure on Emerson, wasn't he? But Emerson is just out in front now, almost by 10 seconds in front of Murphy, who's second, with New F from third. We got the two Williamses, 4th and 5th. Fantastic drive from the Williamses. They will move themselves off the bottom as it stands at the moment, while they will, because of both McLarens who are out of this race. Stringy and Gunnar both out of the race, unfortunately. Which joins. It just didn't go well at all, did it, for the McLaren drivers? William is in the pits, and so William is coming in the pits. He is what tires is going to go on? He's on the soft tires as well. I think they are on the soft tires, so he's taking a gamble as well, and he's trying to go on the soft tires. I think it still looks too wet out there, doesn't it? So there's a lot of gambling going on out there. I wonder if someone knows what the lottery numbers are, because I think that they must be seeing something that we're not at the moment. So I think it's way too early for the dry tires. And you can see Granty was on board with there. They just coming through the flat out right-hander there. It felt like he was almost about to spin there, wasn't he? But you can see there's his next tire, just in a flash of blue. That is Grailsey, and he is the next man on his radar, isn't he? To get powered by, isn't he? So Granty will move back up into 5th position, which is where he was before he came in the pits. Then Nigel's got a 3-second penalty. He's now a minute behind William, who's also on the soft tires as well. And he's a further 20 seconds in front of yellow flag in one. And who is it? Oh, it's no one. Okay, excellent. So yeah, that's good news for us. Just take a look then, as Claire has just said, Team Emerson. And I gotta say, he is looking on song today, isn't he? In the Haas. Of course, he's going for his 5th race win of the season. Remember, I think the all-time race winning record is actually 7, isn't it? I think it's 6. I think it's Nigel who's got 6 race wins, doesn't he? He has got 6 race wins. So Emerson, if he wins today, will only be a 1 race win behind the all-time record, which is Nigel, who has 6 race wins. So yeah, at the moment he will be tied on 5 with Jochen, who has 5 race wins as well. So yeah, Emerson is now becoming into a very prestigious company, isn't he? So he will tie Jochen on 2nd position with 5 race wins today. So well done to Emerson. Really showing some stuff here today, isn't he? Brilliant stuff indeed from Emerson, and he's got almost a 10-second lead now. You even got Jake as well in the comments as well. Team Emerson, and yes, indeed it is. Indeed it is Team Emerson at the moment, and he is walking on water, as they say. And just yellow flag out there, because that's Nigel who's going off the track there. Of course, Emerson is only 1 win behind this man now. Of course, Nigel is the man that holds the record for 6 wins in ALR. And Jonathan is now 2.6 seconds behind Laggy. So it's Granty and Jonathan, the 2 men who are on the move at the moment. They're very steady, and this track is very steadily drying out. It's not drying out as quick as what I thought it'd be. So yeah, so I don't think we won't get onto the dry tyres if it stays like this. So perhaps Granty might have pulled off a masterstroke by coming into the pits on the inter tyres, but I don't think it's going to be a race winning strategy, unfortunately, for Granty. I think it's going to be just more trying to get 5th position and possibly maybe get 4th, but he's 16 seconds back. He needs to be a lot quicker than Maxi there. Maxi is driving into pro races, his best race of the season. Brilliant stuff indeed. Murphy, we haven't talked about Murphy much, has he? He's been in 2nd position. He's been very solid there, hasn't he? Yellow flag in in 1, and that's Nigel. He's off. He's damaged. He's damaged the front wing, and I think that the soft tire gamble hasn't worked at all for Nigel, and he's just trying to get out of the way then. But it's going to be a day of no par for a lot of major runners here today. Wow, And into the pits then comes Craig, so Craig into the pits as well. So here comes the second Alfa Romeo in the pits as well. I wonder what tires he's going to go on then. 10-second penalty there for Nigel there, and Nigel is out of the race, so he has retired from this session. And Granty has moved up into 4th position as Grillsy, I think. So sorry, Granty's moved up to 5th position. Grillsy is now dropped down to 6th position there. So yeah, that's come out of the blue, hasn't it? It's like they were about a second apart then. So yeah, that's so well done to and Craig's on the soft tires as well then. So Craig has also made a bold gamble and on the soft as well. I think it's still too well though, because you can see that the tires, there is still a lot of spray coming off the intermediate tires that are on board Grant. Then Nigel's left the session, then that's disappointed. Then Nigel, I think that is actually only Nigel in a 26 race starts for Nigel. That is only his 3rd DNF then. So Nigel is usually a robot, isn't he? So well, that's a shame there for Nigel on his 26 race starts today. That is his 3rd retirement. So it's all not gone too well at all, and I don't think it's going too well for the guys on the dry tires either. And Laggy then is now under pressure from Jonathan then. As Jonathan now is he's within a second of Laggy. This is the closest battle on track at the moment. Let's take a quick look at the order, shall we? So we're on lap 21 out of 27 then in this very damp, very miserable Suzuka Japanese Grand Prix here in Suzuka Motor Speedway. At the moment, Emerson is going for his 5th race win, and Jonathan there just getting on new power too early there, and almost going to the scene. The accident well held up for Jonathan there. Emerson going for his 5th race win of the season in brilliant style as well. Murphy is going for 2nd position. This will be his 6th podium of the season for Murphy. Fantastic consistency. He really has been he really has done a very good job this season. Murphy has. New F1 is in 3rd position in the Renault. Renault looking strong there. Maxi, his best race result of the season so far, very strong indeed in 4th. Granty is in 5th position. Unfortunately, rain has really cost him today. I think Grillsy in at 6th position. 7th position is Laggy. 8th position is Jonathan. Once again, another man like Granty. The rain just hasn't really helped him today. As a 9th position is Gamer. Brilliant drive from Gamer. And a 10th position for Dragon in his debut is currently the man to get the final points, and he's doing a good job. Dragon on speed is in the Mercedes in 10th position. Craig is 11th position. He's almost a minute behind the points because he's on the soft tires and it's not working out. And same with William as well, who's in 12th position, also on the soft compound tire. So look at those. Look at the guys that have moved. Grillsy has gone at 13 positions. I didn't remember he was way down the field. It's up into he's now at 13 positions, and also up 11 positions is Maxi. So well done to those two, Grillsy and I think it'll be Grillsy and Maxi. This probably might be getting dry today later on, but it does depend on this gamble. And he is in the pits then on lap 22. What is he going on? He is it's a 5-second penalty as well for Grillsy then, but you can see then the Williams mechanics are waiting, and you can see that's soft tires out for Grillsy, so he has rolled the dice as well. He comes out the pits. And as you can see, that Crater's getting up there. So Grillsy, I think it's still too wet for the dry tires, because you can see there's still spray coming off. Yellow flag in one, and that's William there who's off the track. Then William is off the track, and he's trying to recover. And oh dear, he obviously doesn't like flying with Fly Emirates. Grillsy then is out on the soft tires. Let's go on board with Grillsy. How greasy is on track at the moment. He's got to keep up the speed. He has to keep up the speed, otherwise the tire temperature is going to come down. He's going to struggle with the grip. Let's just and you can see, look at it, the car is just floating, isn't it? It's just it's still too early for the dry tires, I think. Still too early then, and you can see, look at the time that the time is just ebbing away there from the Williams driver. It is down, it is 12 seconds, it's 13 seconds then coming through Dunlop there, and you can see then oh goodness me, that's a Mercedes just laughing himself there. And look, it's like a rally cross, isn't it? And I gotta say though, he is not too far away all of a sudden from the dry tires, is it? So because there's not a lot of spray coming off the track, I think it is still borderline. I think it's still a lap or two early, but they are very close to dry tires now, and I think Grillsy might have rolled the dice slightly too early then. We're on board then with Jonathan, who's now moved up to 7th position. Laggy Racer is very slow coming out of the 130R there. Very slow indeed from the Belgian driver, so he's really struggling coming out of the 130R, and the gap is down to 8.6 seconds there. Murphy has now all of a sudden got and look, they're all in the pits. They're all in the pits. And Granty's on the soft tire, so he's the first man to roll the dice. He's on the soft. Also on the soft is Laggy, I think, and Jonathan. They're all coming in the pits. And then Grillsy, I think, was a lap too early then. But unfortunately, and Dragon is staying up. DRS has been enabled at a time where where he gets where it's usually not for coming into the pits and going on to the dry tyres. So I think now is the time for dry tyres. Now we've got a sprint to the end of the race. This is going to be fast and furious stuff. I really going to enjoy this, isn't it? So Grant is now all over the back of Dragon on speed, Laggy on soft tyres, as is Jonathan as well. Jonathan has gone into the back of Laggy. He has spun him around, and at Laggy once again, of course, remember last time he had exactly the same problem, didn't he? Gross there flying by as well. He got spun around by Farf, didn't he, in Russia, and now today he's got spun around by Jonathan there. So yeah, I don't think. Oh, look at this! I don't think Jonathan is too keen on the championship rivals at the moment, is he? Emerson's in the pits, and the race leader is in the pits. And look at this! Grant is now all over the back. He's going to go through. Is he? Let's take a look. Dragon there. Oh my goodness me! And he's going to go on the outside. He's going to have a switcheroo on the inside. Dragon there is still on the wrong type of tyre. Murphy's in the pits as well. They're all going to be in the pits surely this time around then. And look at this, look how much more now it's ready for the dry tyres. Dragon is dropped down into 7th position then, and you can see everyone is in the pits, and Gamer is just in front of us here at the moment. And look at this, Gamer's really struggling, isn't he? Because he's dropped right into the clutches of Dragon on speed as well, and they're going to resume their battle. I have no doubt about that, as they're going to be battling for 6 and 7, but they will have to come in the pits because the intermediate tyres are now time for dry tyres, of course. So well, it's come a lot later, hasn't it? But now we've got a sprint to the finish then. So we had dry at the start and actually bucketed down on not 3 or 4, didn't it? And then it's really transformed this really transformed the race, isn't it? Now it's back on the dry tyres and going to the end. Granty is still behind Maxi then. So unfortunately for Granty, so he will not get by Maxi unless Maxi makes a mistake. Into the pits then is the Mercedes there, so he's coming in and out now. Jonathan is up into 6th position then, so he'll be very happy with that. Can he salvage any more points then? It'd be very difficult from here on in. Oh no, he won't, because the grills is going on the inside. He is through, is he? He's having a look. He's going to drift wide, but very well driving there from Grills there. Of course, he's got a lot more experience on the dry tyres, so he knows where the grip is. And so of course Jonathan is still finding his feet whilst Grills, and oh my goodness, Grills are there almost sliding out of contention there. So very good save there from Grills then. And you can see them really trying to push on, isn't he, here in the Japanese Grand Prix. 12 cars remain then out of the 20 that started. An absolutely action-packed opening series of events here in Japan. I've got to say, it was one of the more frantic laps, wasn't it? We didn't see much of what happened then in the opening couple of laps, because Exile there unfortunately retired after the first lap. And there was all sorts of shenanigans going on, which I think led to a lot of the course with Gunnar, Fireshot, Rocketoni, Fisher, Stringy, Farf and Nigel all out of this race, unfortunately. And we got a Rogue Ghost has asked, do we take reserve drivers? Yes, we do. So of course, then if you want to just send us your gamer tag or your PSN, and we'll get in touch with you. Or well, Nosy will. So of course Nosy the mastermind. Back on board there in Grills at the moment, and Jonathan has dropped down to 8th position then. So whilst I was looking down, Jonathan has gone down to 8th position then. So he is having a very testing race today. I'm sorry I missed that. I got distracted, and Jonathan now dropping down into 8th position. Then Grills is back up to 6th. Laggy is 7th, and Jonathan down in 8th position. Then what a shame then. 3-second penalty there for William as well. He is out of the points. It's very unlikely that he's going to get any points today. And Dragon is now up into 9th position. He is in front of Gamer, who's dropped down to 10th position. So they were very close on track, weren't they? So can Gamer then get back in front? And he just needs to stick with him. Look at how much the dirty air really costs Gamer around these series of S's. Then, but he's keeping with him. He's keeping with him very nicely indeed. Then. Is Gamer then. So look at that Dragon speed there. Run! Oh no, you can see the understeer there. It's really cost Gamer, and he's done a very good job there to keep it out of the wall, and nicely done there for Gamer then. But I think that the momentum's gone then from the Belgian driver, and I think Dragon is now on his way to get his first point of his first ever ALR race. So good stuff there from Gamer today. It's been a very difficult race all the way through, hasn't it? And also we also got Nathan Hughes saying Team Emerson, and of course it is Team Emerson. He has been absolutely fearless today. Peerless. He has just been absolutely fantastic, hasn't he? All the way through from start to finish. Emerson has. He is a class of one today, and that class is brilliant. Emerson there on his way to his fifth ALR win, and this is a huge step in the in terms of the championship, isn't it? As you can see, Granty, his nearest championship rival, is only fifth now, isn't he? Jonathan has another championship rival, is now only eighth. Farf, who is fourth in the championship, is out of this race. Of course, Murphy was fifth in the championship. I think, will he move up into? I don't think he'll move up into. He might actually move up. Grillsy's gone. Grillsy is out of the race. He's gone in the. He's gone in the in Dunlop there. What a shame there from Grillsy. His car is still going then. So he just instantly retired there for Grillsy did, and that is a shame. And that is a shame there for Grillsy. He was on course to get some very good points. That means that Craig is going to get a point in the Alfa Romeo then. It's going to be and William is well off the track. There he is, but he's kept it going. My goodness me! So Grillsy has fallen by the wayside just before the end of this race. So that is a shame there for Grillsy, and that's a big shame there for the Williams team as well. Here comes Emerson. Then he's on, and he's almost got a yellow flag in one here. What's going on in one? Nothing. Excellent. So as Emerson then, of course, he's faster still on this final lap. Really pushing on, Emerson is. As I think that the fastest lap is still with was it with Farf at the beginning of the race? I think it was. And then now then he's coming up to Spoon then for the 27th and last time. An absolutely incredible drive from Emerson. He's been in the class of one. He has done an absolutely splendid job out there from Emerson, and he is going for his fifth race win in ALR. This is now, he's on a joint second most successful driver in ALR history. That is an incredible accolade. As I said earlier, he is a joint second in the all-time winner circle with Jochen, who's also on 5 as well. Emerson then ran the triangle, she came for the 27th and final time, and he wins the Japanese Grand Prix. Fantastic stuff from Emerson. Brilliant drive, and he also got the 26th maximum points as it stands at the moment with his fastest up there. Murphy finishes second. That was his best. Well, I would say it was his best drive of the season. Fantastic drive from Murphy in second position. UF1 is come through to finish in third position. Absolutely fantastic stuff in the third position. So New F1 is actually still on the point from Emerson then. So New F1 might have helped his team out there. Maxi in fourth position. That is his best drive of the season for Maxi. Well played, sir. And Granty there in fifth position. Not as spectacular as his Ray run against the line in Russia, but he is fifth in the end. Laggy in a very incredible sixth position now for the Ferrari driver. As a Rogue Ghost had said, what a race. It was a race. It was a fantastic race, wasn't it? Brilliant stuff indeed, and hopefully we see Rogue Ghost on the grid fairly soon then. As Laggy in sixth position. Jonathan is seventh in the end then, and Dragon and Gamer pushed each other to the line then, and look at this, this is going very, very close indeed, and who's going to get it? Dragon has got seventh. Brilliant driving from Dragon there. Jonathan has dropped down to eighth. Gamer is down in ninth position, and Craig there is in 10th position. We got just waiting for William, who finishes 11th. Emerson, brilliant to say, brilliant driving today, absolutely fantastic stuff. Nathan Hughes just said, I've not seen a Hilton do something that sexy since Paris in 2004. My goodness me. Well, I suppose it is after the watershed now, isn't it? Also, and Grant Smart said, I don't know what to say, an absolute shocker. To honest, I think that he came in a lap too late, didn't he, with the rain there. So absolutely devastating for both Granty and Jonathan as well, who finished in eighth, I think, in the end. Stupid rain. I was fighting for a podium, and then the rain came, and of course then Gamer with his first points, but he is very disappointed. And of course then we've got Laggy Racer, who is P6 today. Brilliant drive from Laggy, absolutely well done. Before we talk to the podium sitters, let's just quickly go through the final classification from the Japanese Grand Prix, shall we? Emerson from lights out to from pole position to checker flag. Absolutely fantastic stuff. His first pole position, his 5th race win of his career. And no penalties either. Well done. Anders Murphy as well, who was 2nd. 3rd position was new F1 today. 4th position was Maxi. Granty in 5th. 6th was Laggy. Dragon 7th on his debut. Fantastic. Jonathan 8th. Gamer first points of the season. 9th. Craig in 10th position. William was the final man in 11th position. Grozy, Nigel, Farf, Stringy, Fisher, Grockatoni, Fireshot, Gunnar, and Exile all retired from this race, unfortunately. So absolutely cracking. So unfortunately only just over half the grid. Unfortunately, half the grid have finished today's race because it was a bit of a tough old race out there. And let's go to the winner's circle now, shall we? And let's talk to Emerson first. Emerson, that looked quite easy to be honest today. Your 5th race win of your career, and now you're 2nd in the all-time winners list in ALR. Fantastic.
I mean, yeah, it was a pretty easy race, but I think I'm more happy about the pole position than the race win, if I'm honest, because I've been dying to get one for a while, but yeah, finally got it.
Yeah, that lap came out of nowhere. That was a splendid lap as well. I would say, to be fair to say, in the qualifying session, I didn't think that. I didn't think he was in with a chance for pole position, but that came out of nowhere. That was a splendid lap. Was you sandbagging, or did you feel like you had the pace?
No, I mean I was quite struggling at Q1. I mean I was like 8/10 off Dan's time, I think, and then Q2 on my mediums I did quite a good lap, and then I kind of did a very similar lap just on the softs in my 2nd run in Q3, and I mean we saw what happened. It was a 10th quicker than anyone else. So.
Absolutely brilliant stuff. And then coming on to the race as well, to be honest, I got to say, you kind of just wandered away in the distance, really. You had a bit of pressure from Granty in the opening a lap or two, but then the rain came and it just used in a class of 1. Incredible stuff.
Yeah, I'm not really sure what he did, why he stayed out that extra lap. I mean, I think that kind of ruined his race for him. If he didn't do that, I think he probably would have been right with me, but yeah, it was pretty easy from there on. I was just worried about whether or not the rain was going to actually stop and it was going to dry up, but eventually it did, and luckily my tyre didn't get a puncture or anything, so we were quite lucky in the end.
Unfortunately, you was almost going to have the full house as well with 26 points, but I think UF1 stole it at the death there. But I seen you pushed on the last lap. Very. Do you think that was a risky move, or was you in firm control?
No, it was a little bit risky, but I wanted to try and get the Grand Slam. I thought I'd try and do 1 lap, and then just to see if I could do it. But yeah, I didn't get it in the end, but it was worth the go, I guess.
Absolutely fantastic stuff. Well done. Congratulations. Your 5th win, as you mentioned earlier. Brilliant stuff. Coming to did I see Dan in the chat? No.
Yes.
Oh, hello. You're set. I think that was your best race result of the season then today, and absolutely barnstorming for drive to 2nd today. And I think that really reinforced your award that you won earlier this week. Was it a difficult race for you?
Yeah, I found it really hard when it started raining, and that's not normally like me. Normally I'm quite good and quite consistent in the rain, but no, Emerson was just in the class of his own today, so fair play to him. I couldn't catch him.
But still, 2nd position was absolutely fantastic. I think that's your best result of the season, and really, really nicely done then. I think you've moved in front of Far from the championship as well, so you are 4th now. But I got to say, it's a bit of a long shot now, isn't it, for you to be considered in the title fight? Would you agree?
Is it mathematically possible still?
Yes, it is.
Well, that's fine, because I know where Emerson lives.
I know where you live.
That's not going to happen, is it, Emerson?
Never know.
Well, well done today, Murphy. I've got to say, I think about a bit of a lonely race out there. You was too quick for the rest of the field, but unfortunately Emerson was just out of touch then. But going to the final 4 races, what is your target then for the remainder of the season?
Hire a hitman, take out Emerson.
Nice son. Well done with 2nd today. Absolutely brilliant drive from both the top 2. And finally, let's go into new F1. Of course, this is a 3rd race today, I believe. So it's 4th race today. A brilliant drive today. This is your 2nd pole of your career in ALR. Was it a tough race out there? Because to be honest, the track conditions were very tricky.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, that was quite a difficult race there. Well, keeping it on track really, but I just felt in qualifying, especially Q1, I didn't feel too happy with the car, but I just kept going, and eventually I found something and it stuck, and that meant I had pace in the race, which was good. I think I got a lot of incident at the start, but apart from that, I kept my head down and stayed out of trouble and managed to get P3, which I was really happy about. I didn't think I deserved it though at the start of qualifying though, so the fact that I've got a P3 it gives me confidence for the next race.
And going into the final 4 races, then tell you what, these are some pretty decent tracks. Then, how are you feeling then going into the final 4 races? And what is your target for next year in season 3 of ALR if you decide to stay with us?
First of all, I'm not really a fan of Mexico USA, unfortunately. So it'll be damage limitation, basically. Try and get the best result I can. At least somewhere in the top 8 I'd be happy for me. I struggled in tracking other leagues before, and in Brazil and Abu Dhabi I'm okay with. I quite like those tracks, so I want to finish off the season on a high. Next season, yeah, I want a good season, and hopefully fight with Emerson and Murphy in the championship as well. And I'll be happy with that. I'll take that because I've got that 4 races already so far.
It's been a very strong start in your first 4 races. Yeah, because you've had 3 podiums in the first 4 races. I would say that's a pretty decent start as well. So surely I'll be throwing you in the mix along with the other 7 or 8 drivers. My goodness me, it's so tight. Well, thank you, Dave, for all the podiums, all the podium guys. Brilliant stuff indeed. Of course, we're going in a week's time. We'll be in Mexico, the highest track on the calendar. Then, which of course, Knowlesy will be will be having that. Of course, he did go there, didn't he? A couple of weeks ago, he absolutely loved that. I think he absolutely loved the experience. And I'm still waiting for my taco, so I don't know where that's got to. Anyway, enough about that. Of course, join us in a week's time in Mexico. We've had an absolute barnstorming race day. The results will be thrown onto the Facebook page in a matter of minutes, so make sure you keep up to date with that. But of course, see you again in a week's time.